Welcome to Elizabethtown High School, home of the Elizabethtown Panthers, where they take on the Centurions of Cal, which stands for Christian Academy of Louisville, for the Class 3A Kentucky State semifinals. I'm Jeff Gregory with my partner Jay Gregory and statistician spotter Garrett Inman on HCEC-TV, the Hardin County Educational Channel, and NFHSnetwork.com. We're excited to be here and to have the opportunity to watch two great teams compete for the chance to advance to Kroger Field in Lexington next Saturday to take on the winner of the Ashland Blazer Belfry game that will be occurring simultaneously in Ashland. Jay, we've called the last two playoff games for E-Town, and they've managed to win two different ways. 2 weeks ago, they rallied with 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to beat a tremendous Bardstown team. Last week, they handled a solid Union County team going away. Cal, on the other hand, dispatched Mercer County 2 weeks ago 23-7 and fought for their lives against a game Glasgow squad 28-20. You've seen E-Town in person, and we have watched Christian Academy on tape. What do you expect to see from both teams tonight?
I think tonight there's no question that both these teams are very well coached, and I think a lot of things that we've seen the past 2 weeks may be thrown out the window, and we might see some different things. I think if you're Cal's defense tonight especially, you realize the power that E-Town's offense has, and like Bardstown did a couple weeks ago, I think you try to make them one-dimensional, meaning that you either stack the box to take away the run, or you drop a safety back to keep the pass, or to drop a safety back to protect against the pass, and I think we're going to see that from them. From E-Town, they just need to try to play like they did last week, get up early and maintain that lead. I don't think they're going to want to get down 14 points going into the fourth quarter like they did against Bardstown.
As both teams take the field, we're going to go over a few quick stats. Elizabethtown's 11-0 on the season. They're coached by Ross Brown. They were 3A District 3 champions. Cal, 3A District 4 champions, 7-2 on the year, coached by former University of Louisville quarterback Hunter Cantwell. Elizabethtown's a senior-led team. They have 16 seniors, which is great for experience purposes. They were 8th grade state champs 4 years ago in middle school, so they've played in some big games before. They're led by number 7 quarterback Clay Games, who has 123 completions on 192 attempts for the year. That's for 29 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, so he's kept that stat sheet clean on the turnovers, and he's thrown for 2,130 yards. Running the ball for E-Town is often by committee, but the bulk of the carries go to Cameron McNeil, who plays in that gunback fullback spot. He's had 131 attempts for 1,001 yards and 12 touchdowns in 10 games. Kai Sherrard, 46 attempts for 525 yards and 7 touchdowns. His twin brother Cam from that other wing has 40 attempts, 404 yards for 6 touchdowns. They've also combined for 41 receptions, almost 1,000 yards receiving, and 14 touchdowns out of those wing spots. Out on the outsides, Camden Williams, number 5, 38 receptions, 504 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Alondre Peanut Murphy, 23 receptions, 380 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So a solid senior-led offense that has really done a good job this year for the Elizabethtown Panthers. For Cal, at quarterback, number 8, Connor Clayton Masters is 117 of 202 for 1,900 yards with 24 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, so they can throw it as well. They're led in the backfield by Brant Babin, 139 rushes, 884 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He's a great big strong kid, maybe as big a back as E-Town's seen this year. We did see a big back during the North Bullitt game, and he gave E-Town fits, so it'll be interesting to watch that matchup there. At wide receiver for Cal, Easton Messer has 42 receptions for 758 yards and 10 touchdowns, so he seems to be one of the bigger targets. Gage Guerin has 25 for 413 and 6 touchdowns. William Parr, 17 receptions, 316 yards for 3 touchdowns, and Adam Ballard has 22 receptions for 307 yards. So they've got some firepower and spread it around as well. So it ought to be an interesting matchup, and we are about to kick off. And they did the coin flip pregame while both teams were warming up, and it appears that Cal has chosen to kick off and receive the ball in the second half, so E-Town will receive starting off. Deep for the Panthers, it looks to be Cam Sherrard, the lone deep receiver, with number 22, Kai Sherrard, Alondre Murphy. And here's the kick. And it is fielded about the 4-yard line by Sherrard. He is bringing it up the right side, and he's not going to have much room. Taken down, it looks to be about the 17-yard line, so E-Town will start 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. And we got 11:54 starting the first quarter here, so we'll see how this E-Town offense starts the game off. Cal looks big. They look ready. They got a lot of energy. There's been more people in this stadium tonight than I've seen in several weeks, so the energy level's pretty high here. Game's under center. He starts off, drops back, looks to pass, throws down the middle, looking for 3. Cam Sherrard, and it looks like it's tipped away about the 50-yard line. He's looking for an interference call, but I don't believe he's going to get it. Good coverage on Cal's part in the safety in the secondary, so that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from Elizabethtown 13-yard line.
And that right there is going to be a big point of emphasis for Cal. Try to take away that deep ball. It's good coverage right there, all the play action.
And, you know, it looks like Cal may be looking to stack the box a little bit here and try to shut down the E-Town run game, so maybe not a bad call by Coach Brown to start the game off and try to spread that defense out a little bit. Game's in the gun. McNeil, the gun back, he takes the handoff up the middle. And it looks like he may got a couple, but he didn't get much right into the interior of that Cal defense. So like all first drives on both sides, for each team, they're going to feel their way out and see what looks good and looks like maybe a possibility of working and then work out of that. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9, so he got 1 yard at the 14-yard line of Elizabethtown. So E-Town looking to move the chains here to get a drive going or at least flip the field. Game's in the gun. He's going to roll to his right, throws the pass, and it's going to be a little bit short, but caught by number 5, Cam Williams, and it's going to be close to a first down. It's
I think they got
maybe a yard short. I can't tell. They're not moving the chains yet. That was a good catch. Williams had to go down and catch that. Hit his shoestrings, but looks like it's going to bring up a 4th and 1. And it appears Coach Brown, now they're moving the chains. So now they're calling it a first down. Game's under center. McNeil, the lone back. Jet sweep with Kai Sherrard to the left side. He's got room. And it looks like he's got one man to beat. It's the safety. If he can get a block, cuts back across the middle. And he's brought down about the 30-yard line of Cal, which will obviously be a first down for Elizabethtown. Great big run there. He had a lot of room on the left side on that jet sweep and was one man away. Couldn't quite get the block there in time to shift over and make it. They're bringing it back. We got a flag down. Looks like maybe a hold out there on that left edge.
Last week against Glasgow, Cal saw a lot of the wing tee. They ran more of a traditional wing tee. Town's kind of gotten out of that a little bit this year, but we'll see how they adjust.
So a 57-yard rushing play for Kai Sherrard is going to be negated by a holding penalty, and that'll bring up 1st and 19 from the 14-yard line. So E-Town's backed themselves back in the hole with a holding penalty, and they'll approach the line of scrimmage with games in the gun. He takes the snap. Hands off on the draw to McNeil up the middle, who has a good gain. Looks like about 7 or 8 yards. Looks like that's going to bring up 2nd and 11 from the 22-yard line of Elizabethtown. So like we said earlier, both teams feeling their way here a little bit early in the first quarter. Games with the quick pass outside to Cam Sherrard on the right, makes a cut, makes another cut, gets upfield, and that will be enough for a first down. He made 2 guys miss there and was able to get to the 36-yard line of Elizabethtown. They're just so deceptive and so good in space, Jay. They're tough to tackle and key on because there's so many of them.
Cal was in good position right there. Just a good move by number 3 to get the extra yards.
Coach Brown doing a good job of spreading this offense out a little bit, using all his tools early, keeping Cal off balance. Game's under center. McNeil gets the ball up the middle into the interior of Cal's defense, and he's going to be stopped pretty quick there, maybe a 2-yard gain. Tackle on the play by number 65 for Cal and number 16 for Cal. So E-Town will take it 2nd and 8 from the 38-yard line. Game's in the gun again. Got 3 out wide to his left. Takes the snap. Quick screen to his left. That's going to be Alondre Murphy, who makes a move and cuts back towards the middle of the defense, and he's going to be stopped after a gain of 2 or 3 there, which is going to bring up a 3rd and 5, it looks like, from the 41-yard line of Elizabethtown. So we've seen it all. We've seen jet. We've seen quick screens to the outside. We've seen the deep ball over the middle. We've seen them run the fullback up the middle. So he's spreading it around and working Cal's defense.
Cal does a lot of movement pre-snap, get the guys where they need to be before the play.
Game's in the gun again, and we've got a timeout on the field. Not sure what it is. Timeout Elizabethtown. So Coach Brown saw something that he wanted to adjust or didn't like there. Caused the timeout with 8 minutes and 36 seconds left in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 5. Elizabethtown has the ball from their own 41-yard line. Had a big running play negated, 57 yards. Kai Sherrard got on the outside on the left there in jet and had a chance to break it, score a touchdown, but obviously there was a flag down on that side and there was a hold. So that came back. But I think that's something they're going to look to do later on. But just as we expected, E-Town's using all their weapons. Cal's pretty stout there in the middle like they always are, and it's going to be a great football game tonight.
Cal's been in this situation, this game, plenty of times before, so this isn't anything new for them. E-Town's been here a lot of times before too. They're just looking to, break that glass ceiling and get to the state championship.
It's been since 2003 since Elizabethtown sent a team to the state championship game, so a lot of these kids were just being born or weren't born yet. Game's in the gun. McNeil, the lone gun back. Takes a snap, looks to his left. Quick throw. Oh, and hit Murphy right in the numbers, and he dropped it. It would have been a first down. So that's going to bring up 4th and 5. Looks like Elizabethtown's sending in their punt team. Yeah, he'd have had that first down by a couple of yards.
Looks like he just looked to move before he caught the ball.
Which happens. Maybe you're shaking off those early game jitters. So Games will be back to punt. 4th and 5 from the 41-yard line with 8:33 left in the first quarter. Snaps away, kicks away, decent punt. It's going to be fielded about the 30-yard line for Cal. He's got a seam up the left side. Not too many. Games comes up to hit him. He's still on the move. And that's going to be number 4 for Cal, who had a good run up the left side. That's Easton Messer, who is also one of their better receivers. So E-Town gave up good field position there by not covering the punt as well as they should have, and Cal is going to be behind the chains where E-Town punted from, or close to it. They're going to take over at the 34-yard line, it looks like, of Elizabethtown. So Cal in the gun in the pistol. Masters hands it off to Babin, and the big running back goes to his right and gets about 3 yards on the carry, it appears. Tackle on the play by number 84, Trey Prather, and a host of other Panthers.
Cal's offense, a lot like E-Town, they do a lot of different things. They're very versatile. They can run and throw, so it'll be interesting to see how E-Town's defense makes their adjustments.
Same formation for Cal offensively. Masters in the gun. Takes the snap, turns, hands it to Babin. He heads to his right-hand side. And he is brought down. It looked like Cameron McNeil and Camden Williams, but not after a gain of about 3 more yards, which is going to bring up 3rd and 4 from the Elizabethtown 28-yard line. So they're going to pound that Panther front line, it looks like, to start the game and see if they can hold up. Now Babin the gun back. Masters in the gun. Got a receiver on each side. Takes the snap, drops back looking to pass. He's got rush. He throws it up to the right-hand side. And it's going to be incomplete, out of bounds. It was a good ball, and the receiver had a shot at it, but it looks like he just let him a little bit out of bounds there. So that's a big break for E-Town. But Cal's in 4-down territory here.
Right here, if I'm E-Town's defense, I'm looking for the chains. Cal likes to run. Quick stops out on their outsides where the receiver runs right to the sticks, turns around, and the quarterback does a good job of putting the ball on his numbers.
So here's the first real test for this Panther defense to see if they can hold 4th and 4 from the 28-yard line. Cal in a pistol formation again. 2 receivers to his left. Snaps away, hands it to Babin up the middle. He's looking for room, and he's got it, it looks like.
I think that's going to be the tail of the tape. A lot of runs up the middle with their big back Babin, and then trying to hit shots over the middle and over top in the throwing game.
And that Cal front line there's pretty good size, and they're going to lean on E-Town all night and test their mettle and see if they can hang on. So I have a lot of faith that Ryan Piles and Chad Dukes and some of those guys can stand up to that, but time will tell. Masters under center this time. Babin the lone back, receiver on each side. Takes the snap. Play action pass, looks to his right, and it's complete. Ball's loose. E-Town recovers about the 1 yard line. I'm not sure what happened there, Jay. I don't know if it just slipped out of his hands or if somebody knocked that loose.
Looks like he turned to run, and maybe Camden Williams got a hand in there, but I think the ball rolled into the end zone. I would have probably just taken a touchback, but it's okay. And they would start at the 2 yard line.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 actually from the 3 yard line, but that's basically the same thing for Elizabethtown. But that's a big break for them to start the game with 6:36 left in the first quarter, and game's under center. Hands the ball on jet to Sherrard. Cam Sherrard coming around the right-hand side, looking for a block from Williams, and he's going to have a decent gain here. It looks to be about the 12 or the 13 yard line, so it's going to be just a yard short maybe for a first down, but they're right at the sticks. So that gave E-Town some breathing room for sure. Looks like it's going to bring up 2nd and 1 from the 12. So we've seen 2 jet sweeps so far on that outside, and they've both gone for pretty decent gains. Game's under center again. McNeil behind him. And McNeil gets the ball up the middle, and he's got some room. And he's running hard, and he's breaking tackles. Oh, that's a gain of about 14, 15 yards it looks like, and he got about 4 yards before he got hit, and the rest were his. He broke 2 or 3 tackles and really showed a lot of fortitude to keep moving forward like he's run the ball all year and basically for his whole career. Tough kid. But a big play for Elizabethtown to get them out of that hole. 1st and 10 from the Elizabethtown 28 yard line. Game's under center again. And the quick pitch to the right to Cam Sherrard. He stops, cuts back towards the middle, and he has a gain of about 6 or 7, it appears, to about the 35, 36 yard line.
E-Town using their speed early.
That's an 8 yard gain, so that brings up 2nd and 2 from the 36 yard line of Elizabethtown. Game's in the shotgun this time. He's got 3 receivers to his left, and he's going to keep it himself and go to his right. He's going to keep it up to the sideline, runs out of bounds. That looked like a busted play. Looked like they tried to run a little option play there, but he didn't have a back to pitch it to. Good enough for a first down. So that brings up 1st and 10 from the 38 yard line. Game's under center again. Has Williams up top to his left, McNeil behind him. And it's another jet sweep, this time to Kai Sherrard around the left side, and he's got some room, and he is going to have another big gain. Looked like about 20 yards there. That's that same play that got called back on the holding penalty earlier. And Cal's really struggling with E-Town speed right now. Similar to how E-Town was struggling with Cal's physicality in the middle. First and 10 from the Cal 40-yard line now, so E-Town's gotten into Cal's side of the field, 40 yards to the end zone, and they're driving. Game's in the gun again. McNeil the gun back, 3 receivers to his right. And he drops back to pass. Looking downfield, got rushed from behind and throws it away before he's tackled. So they didn't give him much time to work there. Had a good rush from number 50 from Cal. That's going to be Trey James Jorgensen. He had good rush from the outside, and Games had to throw it away. Going to bring up 2nd down, 10 yards to go from the Cal 40-yard line. You know, the other games, Jay, that Elizabethtown's played that we've had the opportunity to watch, you haven't seen a lot of pressure on Games, so I'm sure that Coach Cantwell put some of that in his game plan, tried to keep him off his mark and knock some of that timing off. Game's under center this time. And it looks like we got a timeout on the field, and Cal has called a timeout.
And like you said, pressure on games for sure, but E-Town hasn't necessarily had to sustain drives like they have already in this game, and I think that's what's going to be the whole game. Usually they hit big plays and take them for 80 yards to score, but Cal does a good job of, if they do get a big play, they tackle them and don't let them go for any more. So I think we're going to see E-Town have to maintain long drives throughout this game.
And, you know, a lot of, we spoke of it before in 3A football, a lot of times you have kids going both ways, and I don't know if Coach Cantwell saw something there that he wanted to change, or if he was trying to give his defense a little bit of a breather, because E-Town started this drive on the 3-yard line and they've marched it down the field. But a lot of kids play both ways. They get tired, and it's important to be able to give those kids some air from time to time. This is the kind of football game we expected, though. Two really good teams. When you get to semifinals, Final Four, there's no bad teams left. And these two teams so far seem to be fairly evenly matched. Game's under center. McNeil, the lone back. And they're going to do the double handoff in the middle. Kyle Sherrard takes it, breaks the tackle. Moving to his right, it's a foot race to the pylon. And touchdown, Elizabethtown. I see no flags on the ground, so it looks like that one's going to stand. So a 40-yard run with 4:46 left in the first quarter by Kai Sherrard on the double handoff. And number 82, Brandon Parsons, will come out to kick the extra point for Elizabethtown. Back to your point, Jay. That's how quick E-Town can score, and they got on the board quick there. Lots of speed. Parsons' kick will be out of the hole to Clay Games, the quarterback. Gavin Young, the long snapper. Snaps back, kicks up, and it's good. 7-0 Elizabethtown with 4:46 left in the first quarter. Sherrard took that double handoff, looked to his left, made a good cut back towards the middle, and then made another good cut back to his right and was missed by a couple Cal defenders, and then it was just a foot race to the pylon that he's going to win most of the time.
You know, in a lot of these long runs, Cal's been in the right spot, but E-Town's running backs have been able to make a move and get extra yards.
So Elizabethtown will be set to kick off. Coach Brown instructing Brandon Parsons on where he wants the kick to go. Usually they do a squib kick and try to keep it out of some of the better athletes of the opposing team that they're playing's hands. We'll see what they choose to do tonight. We've seen a variation of different kickoff teams for Elizabethtown. This one seems to be the one they've been using for the last couple of weeks with a whole lot of the defensive starters on it, some of the better tacklers maybe, and not as many young guys who did a noble job when they did it as well. So Parsons set to kick. 4:46 left in the first quarter. E-Town 7-0 at Elizabethtown High School. And the kick's away, and it is a squib kick like we suspected. And the running back's going to head to his left-hand side. That's going to be Babin, I believe, the big back for them. Yeah, Brant Babin. And he's going to bring it almost out to the 50-yard line. Looks like they're spotting it at the 45-yard line of Cal. So decent field position. Again, they're giving them a short field on these special teams play. So the E-Town defense gets set. Masters is going to be under center. Babin behind him. Takes a snap, hands off to Babin up the middle, and he has nowhere to go. He's smothered, probably lost a yard on that. So great work by Ryan Piles and that interior line play from the Elizabethtown Panther defense. That was an interesting offensive set there that had that other back that was directly behind the guard, it looked like. Now they're in an I formation. Masters under center, takes a snap, and he has a draw delay to Babin, who's going to get about 5-6 yards, it looks like, and he'll be brought down at the 50-yard line and that's by number 21, Cam McNeil from the middle linebacker spot. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5 from the 50. Babin's a great big kid, and if you look at their stats throughout the year, he gets the majority of the carries. He's had 139 rushes, and the next closest person to him, I believe, has 15 minus the quarterback. So Masters under gun again, Babin behind him. He takes the snap. He's looking downfield, quick slant, and he's going to complete it. And that's going to be to number 4, Easton Messer, and that's going to be good for the first down. He took that snap, took about 2-step drop, and looked through it straight across on that slant. Now he's in the gun with one gun back, which is Babin. Now he's moved back to the pistol formation, and Babin takes it right up the middle. He's got some room, and he's going to be tackled after about a gain of 6 or 7. That was a good tackle again by Cameron McNeil, and he's going to have plenty of opportunity tonight, it appears. Cal keeps pounding the middle. That was a 6-yard gain. Will bring 2nd and 4 from the 31-yard line. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Elizabethtown up 7-0. Masters goes under center. Babin behind him in the fullback spot. He's got 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Takes the snap. E-Town blitzes. Ball's on the ground again, and E-Town picks it up. Right. Chad Dukes recovers the fumble. Just a bad handoff there to Babin, or he didn't take the handoff correctly, but a fumbled exchange has cost Cal another turnover, and Elizabethtown's going to take over from their own 40-yard line. So they've caught 2 big breaks here early, Jay, in the first quarter.
We'll see how E-Town does this drive to capitalize, try to go up 14 points here late in the first quarter.
And as you know, whenever you get to this stage in the process, you have to capitalize on the turnover, so E-Town needs to make them pay for it. Game's in the gun, hands off to McNeil up the middle. He's going to get maybe 2 yards until he hits a wall of Cal defenders. So maybe a short gain. Looks like 2 yards, brings up 2nd and 8 from the 42-yard line of Elizabethtown. So E-Town approaches the line of scrimmage. Games is going to be in the gun again. McNeil, the gun back. He's got 2 receivers on each side. And he takes a snap. It's low. He grabs it, looks to his right, hits Camden Williams right on the E-Town sideline. He's going to have about a 4 or 5 yard gain, it appears, which is going to bring up 3rd and short. So we're looking at 3rd and 3, it appears, from about the 47-yard line. So good coverage there by the Cal secondary. Williams caught the pass but didn't have a whole lot of room to make a player run. And they used that sideline as another player for him, the 12th man, if you will. Pushed him out of bounds. Game's in the gun, 3rd and 3. He's got 3 to his left. Moving 1 to his right now. Kai Sherrard in motion. Looking downfield, and he's got rush, and he's sacked. So.
And that was a sack by number 21, and that's Isaac Satterfield coming off the edge there, making a big hit on number 7, Clay Games.
And he came through untouched, and like I said, the Elizabethtown defense, or the Elizabethtown offense, isn't used to blocking that rush. They just haven't seen it that much this year, so that'll be an adjustment they have to make, but it's going to cause Elizabethtown to punt, and Games is back to punt from the Elizabethtown 39-yard line. Snaps away, Games has it. Kick is up, and it's straight up in the air, and it's going to be short. But takes an Elizabethtown bounce. And it's going to be down to about the 32-yard line, 33-yard line of Cal. So that'll bring up 1st and 10 for Cal with 50 seconds left in the first quarter. Elizabethtown up 7-0 from the 32-yard line. So E-Town didn't capitalize on that turnover, and Cal will take back over from their own 32. Masters in the gun, Babin the gun back. Got Two receivers to his right, one to his left. And he's going to load up and throw a deep ball down the middle of the field. It's going to be long, but, boy, he can throw it. That was a pretty ball. Coverage on the play. Number 3, Cam Sherrard. He threw that ball about 50 yards in the air trying to hit the receiver on the deep post, it looked like.
And that's twice the Cal receivers have had a step on the E-Town's DBs and just overthrow and just haven't hit it yet.
That was Gage Guerin for Cal that ran that route, and he did have a step. A ball that dropped in there would possibly have been a touchdown. So Masters back under center, two receivers to his right, one to the left, Babin behind him. And he will hand it to Babin, who's up the middle, pushing defenders, still driving, and about to come out of it. And he's still up. And so I believe everybody on the team hit him there about 4 yards in, and he drug them about 10 more yards. So he's quite a load. So much like we saw in the North Bullitt game, big running back gives E-Town fits at times just because they're a little bit smaller on defense and quicker. That's the game that they play. Not a whole lot of size. Three receivers to his right, Masters in the gun, and he looks to pass, looking to his right, throws the quick out, and that's going to be good for a first down too, and that is going to be number 4, Easton Messer, with about a 12-yard reception for another first down. So they stack 3 over there and run that quick out, and E-Town couldn't defend it. Masters throws a nice ball. He's got a good arm. So that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the Elizabethtown 48-yard line. 13 seconds left in the first quarter, and Cal driving. Masters in the gun. And he fakes the pass to the left, throws it to Babin, who is on the move again. And is going to have another run for about 5-6 yards, it appears, another big gain. And that's going to run the clock down to the end of the first quarter.
As we've seen, Cal has been able to move the ball on E-Town, just 2 untimely turnovers, put the ball back in E-Town's possession, but Cal's offense is moving the ball fine.
Yeah, they are doing fine. Matter of fact, they were primed to score down there early in the first quarter and had that unfortunate fumble that E-Town was able to recover and flip the field on them and end up scoring a touchdown there on a Kai Sherrard run with about 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Then Cal came down and they were driving again, Jay, and then coughed the ball up. E-Town got it, turned it back over by punt, and weren't able to capitalize on it. So now Cal has the ball, and they're driving again. Elizabethtown 7-0 starting the second quarter. Cal will have the ball on the Elizabethtown 36-yard line, and it's 2nd and 4. But both teams playing hard, and I'm sure this is a great time for them to get a breather. Coach Quentin Brown out there tweaking his defense. Big running back like Babin is hard on anybody's defense. He's a real load and can really wear a defense down, and I'm sure that's playing into Cal's game plan somewhat.
Like you said earlier, when he breaks that first wall of E-Town's big lineman and get back to that secondary, he's a hard man to bring down.
And so Masters is under center, Babin the fullback again. Receiver on each side, and he turns and hands it to Babin, who breaks off to his right. Stiff arms Cam McNeil, who ends up bringing him down after about a 4-yard gain, it appears. So that's going to be 1st and 10 for Cal, and they're driving from the 31-yard line of Elizabethtown. Cal running the play in. E-Town's defense seems to be on its heels right now. So a receiver to each side, tight end on the left. Masters in the gun, Babin behind him. Takes the snap, drops back, looks to pass. Looks to his right side, completes it. And that's going to be to Messer again, his favorite target. And that looks like it's going to be good for about
5 or 6.
Yeah.
They love those 5-6 yard stops, move the ball.
Well, it's good enough for a first down, 1st and 10. So it was a 10-yard gain. I didn't see that. But Cal will get it 1st and 10 from the Elizabethtown 21-yard line, and they're knocking on the door. Masters walking up under center, Babin behind him, receiver to each side, tight end on the left. Andy hands off to the Babin, who hits the middle of E-Town's defense, makes a stutter step, and they can't tackle him. Touchdown, Christian Academy of Louisville on a 21-yard touchdown run by Brant Babin. He broke multiple tackles there. Couple spin moves, a stiff arm, and he rumbled his way into the end zone. So that's going to be a problem for Elizabethtown. That's something they're going to have to work on. And you were correct to say earlier, if they can't stop him at that interior line, it's hard on the linebackers and secondary to bring a guy that size down. So Cal, for the extra point try now, kicks up, and it's good. So we have a tie ball game, 7-7 with 11:13 left in the second quarter on a 21-yard Brent Babin touchdown run for Cal.
Not only is Babin big, but as we just saw there, he has a lot of moves in his arsenal, and he can use them at any time. He's a very good, skilled back.
So both teams have come out offensively and defensively and showed us what they have and given the coaches material to make adjustments. So it'll be interesting to see how they work off of that. Cal will kick off to E-Town here shortly. E-Town will take the ball back over on offense. Two pretty good football teams right now. Ashland Blazer and Belfry, two other really good football teams, are playing in Ashland to see who decides the champion of that side to head to Lexington next Saturday to take on one of these two teams.
You know, like we talked about earlier, this Cal team has been in plenty of situations like this. This is going to be a 4-quarter battle.
Absolutely. With a head coach that's been in plenty of these situations as well. So Cal set to kick off. Dylan Cornett with the kick, and it's away. And it's fielded about the 15-yard line by Ryder Gregory, who runs to his left and then has no room to his right trying to make a cut. So E-Town will take the ball over at about the 25-yard line. $11 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the second quarter. And let's see if E-Town can answer. Game's under center. McNeil the lone back. Williams the receiver on the outside left, and we're going jet sweep to the left. And Kai Sherrard takes it and makes a cut back up the middle, and looks like it's going to be good for 4 or 5 yards. So he didn't see anything on the outside developing there, planted his foot and headed right back up towards the middle of the defense, and looks like that was going to be good for a 5-yard carry, which will bring up 2nd and 5 from the Elizabethtown 31-yard line. Both of the Sherrard twins have really good vision.
They're two backs that do not get tackled behind the line of scrimmage too often.
They can definitely get out of some messes. Game's in the gun. Two receivers to his left, and he's going to throw. Quick shot out here to Camden Williams on the E-Town sideline. He stiff arms a tackler, and he's going to have a pretty good gain there, Jay. Looks like 15 or 16 yards, which is going to be good for Elizabethtown first down.
Camden Williams is a big back, and he's a hard guy to bring down out there too as well.
He is, and he's sure-handed, and he's a great possession receiver, and with a lot of times he gets lost in the mix with all these other great athletes on E-Town's offense, but they do a pretty good job of spreading it around. But whenever it's 3rd and long or so, that's a good one to look for because he's pretty sure-handed, does a great job. Game's in the gun. McNeil, the gun back, got a receiver on, and Games rolls to his right. He's going to look upfield, throws the deep ball, and it's a juggling catch. I mean, a fantastic catch.
Wow.
Looked like Kai Sherrard. I can't tell if it's Kai or Cam, but it's going to be complete about the 10-yard line, but he's injured on the play, it appears. I think that probably knocked the breath out of him.
That was 22 Kai.
Kai Sherrard, what a catch. It was a good ball by Games, but he went up and had to go over the top of the Cal defender to be able to catch it. It bobbled it once and came down with it.
That's one of those 50-50 balls. Cal's defense was all over him. He just went over top, as you said, made a very good catch.
talked about that Belfry and Ashland game. I'm getting reports right now that they're scoreless in the second quarter. So two high-powered, high-charged offenses right now are having a defensive battle up there in Ashland. Kai Sherrard's still down. Trainer's out looking at him. I hope it's just a cramp or they knocked the breath out of him. So both teams are going to be on their own sideline talking to their coaches while we wait and see if we can get Sherrard back on his feet. So big strike play for E-Town. It was a good ball by Games, but it was an even better catch by Sherrard. And they're pulling him up now. So he's walking off on his own, which is good to see. You don't want to see anybody hurt in a game like this from either team. It looks like he just had the air knocked out of him because it appeared that he landed on the ball, although that's a long way away from here. So he will be replaced on the wing temporarily by number 6 Ryder Gregory. And E-Town will head back out on the field and get in the huddle and call their next play. 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line of Christian Academy of Louisville, and E-Town's knocking on the door. Game's under center, McNeil behind him. Fake jet sweep to McNeil up the middle, and he's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So Cal's staying pretty disciplined there in the middle, looking for McNeil, who is our leading ball carrier. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10 from the 13-yard line. Games runs back in with the play.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them take a shot in the air right here in the end zone.
Kai Sherrard back in the game. Game's in the gun, but the play clock's running out. Need to snap the ball, and they do, and he rolls to his left. Looking to throw. Hits McNeil on the left sideline. He takes it down to the 2 or 3 yard line, it looks like. So a quick pass there to the left of McNeil out of the backfield. And that's going to be close to a first down. They haven't marked it yet. Looks like the 3 or 4 yard line. And they have called it a first down, so that'll bring up 1st and 3 from the 3 yard line of Cal. So E-Town knocking on the door again with 8:43 and the clock running here in the second quarter. Game's under center, McNeil behind him. 2 wings. Cam Sherrard goes in motion, and he's going to get the ball on jet sweep and go in for the touchdown. Around the right-hand side, Cam Sherrard for a 3-yard run with 8 minutes and 29 seconds left in the second quarter, and E-Town takes the lead again 13-7.
No, E-Town's big playability we've seen all game.
We have, but they are going to have to solve the riddle of Brant Babin. Number 82, Brandon Parsons, coming in for the extra point, and as you know, these are extremely critical in close games like this. Clay Games is going to be holding. Gavin Young snap, and it's back. Parsons' kick is up, and it's good, which will make it 14-7. Elizabethtown with 8 minutes, 29 seconds left in the second quarter at Elizabethtown High School. So Cal came down, pretty much ran over E-Town, was able to get it in for a touchdown by a great run, 21-yard run from Brant Babin, and then E-Town comes out and they answer the call and march right back down the field and score quickly. Lots of healthy respect, I believe, between these two teams for each other.
These two teams have also seen a lot of each other over the past couple years. I believe E-Town and Cal have had each other on the schedules for past couple years, and this might be one of the first years they haven't played each other in the regular season.
I believe the last 2 or 3 years they had. 17 and 18 I know that they did for sure. And those were always competitive games. Cal, I believe, won both of those, but updating Ashland 7-0. Ashland Tomcats over Belfry with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Parsons set to kick off here at Elizabethtown High School. And he will squib kick it up the middle, and once again it goes to Babin, who bobbles it, and looks like number 9 for Cal grabbed the ball and decided to down it. So Elizabethtown will take over, or excuse me, Cal will take over on offense from what appears to be the 27-yard line of Cal. 1st and 10. Elizabethtown defense heads back out on the field. 2 wide receivers to his right. Masters under center, Babin behind him at the fullback spot, and he takes a snap and hands it to Babin, who is headed around the left side, cuts back to his left, is going to be stopped for about a 2-yard gain. So Cal likes to spread that secondary and those linebackers out a little bit and then hand the ball to Babin and attack that open space.
Cal's receivers do a good job of blocking on the outside as well.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 7 from the Cal 30-yard line. 8 minutes left in the second quarter as they break the huddle offensively. E-Town's defense should have got a decent breather for those that don't go both ways, and hopefully they could regroup a little bit and learn how to handle this rushing attack from Cal. They're going to send a linebacker to blitz. Masters throws it up, and it's going to be incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Camden Williams. Masters looking for his go-to, Easton Messer, who's really fast. Camden Williams was on him like a glove and was able to knock that loose just before he caught it. That was going to be a gain of 35, 40 yards if he didn't. So good defense in the secondary for Elizabethtown down this home sideline, which will bring up 3rd and 7 from the 30-yard line. Elizabethtown blitzed the linebacker there, but they had good coverage, or the running back picked him up and he couldn't get back there to the quarterback, which gave Masters time to pass. So Masters in the gun this time with 3 receivers to his left, and he immediately looks to his left, now looks back to his right, and he's going to be sacked. He was either sacked or he gained 1 yard. He kind of tucked it and stepped up in the pocket. Looked to his left, couldn't get the pass off, and looked like he was met there by Trey Durbin and one of the interior linemen for Elizabethtown. So that's going to bring up 4th down, 6 yards to go. Cal looks like they're going to punt from their own 31-yard line with 7:11 left in the second quarter.
And that looked like a shallow play where they have a dig, which is a 10-yard in, and then on the other side they have a 5-yard drag across the middle, and it looked like he was trying to hit the drag, and just E-Town's defensive line got to him before he could make a decision.
So Cam Sherrard back to receive the punt from Cal. High snap to the punter. He's going to get it off, and he shanks it, it looks like.
A lot of pressure right there from number 6, Ryder Gregory. Came off the edge fast.
And so the ball rolls out of bounds at about the Cal 42-yard line. So that's going to be a punt of net 6, 7, 8 yards, not much. So rough break for Cal. E-Town see if they can capitalize on the short field this time offensively. They're going to take over from the Cal 42-yard line, 1st and 10. 6:43 left to go in the second quarter. Elizabethtown leads 14-7. Game's in the gun, 3 receivers to his left. McNeil will gun back, and he'll hand it off to McNeil up the middle, who's got room, and he breaks tackles. And he's headed down the left sideline, getting good blocks on the outside from number 3, Cam Sherrard, and that's going to be a big gain for Elizabethtown. Going to take it down almost to the 10-yard line, it looks like, Jay.
McNeil's such a hard running back. A lot like Babin, except without the height.
And that is going to be on the Elizabethtown 10, 1st and goal to go from the 10-yard line. So they got 4 plays to do it here to try to take a 2-touchdown lead. Game's under center. McNeil, the fullback, and jet sweep to the right with Cam Sherrard, who stops, reverses his field, then heads back to the right again, picking up blocks downfield and steps out of bounds, it looks like, around the 5 or 4 yard line. So that was all him. And to your point earlier, you're not going to see many times that they run the ball that you're going to tackle them for loss. They're just too shifty and deceptive.
You know, Cal's doing a good job of pursuit on those jet sweeps now. It's just the Sherrard twins, whoever's getting them, is putting their foot in the ground and getting upfield.
And you got to know, Elizabethtown offensive line's done a great job all year blocking, and those receivers on the outside do a good job too. So if you can just give those guys just a little crease, they can make magic happen a lot of times. So that'll bring up 2nd and 4 from the 4-yard line. Game's in the gun. We got a timeout on the field. Timeout Elizabethtown. So with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second quarter, Elizabethtown leading 14-7, and they will have the ball 2nd and 4 from the Cal 4-yard line, knocking on the door to score again to go up 2 touchdowns. They've caught some breaks the first half. Elizabethtown has 2 Cal fumbles and then a punt right here that was shanked, and E-Town got wonderful field position, and Cal just can't keep making those mistakes and expect to stay in this game. I think if both teams play clean, then it's a really good football game. But if one has a whole lot more turnovers than the other, this one can make it tough on the team that's turning the ball over. So E-Town confirmed with their coaches, as is Cal. E-Town breaking the huddle to head back out on the field. We'll see what they dial up offensively to see if they can go up 2 touchdowns here. Weather's perfect tonight for a December football game. You don't get 50-degree weather very often in December.
You don't see a lot of short sleeves out there in December.
Gaines handed off, and Sally, oh, great play. Number 46 for Cal came through there on the Sally reverse and was able to make the tackle. And it's going to be a tackle for loss. Looked like he came from that.
That was number 45. That was Braden Babin.
That's Brant Babin's twin brother. So 2 sets of twins that are very talented in this game. But he stunned at the middle of that and was able to make a great play. So it's 3rd and 7 from the 7-yard line for Elizabethtown. And Gaines is in the gun. And he's going to hand it to Kai Sherrard, who runs the option with number 21, McNeil, who's going to be tackled over there on the Cal sideline. It looks like the 3 or 4 yard line. I've never seen them run that play very much either. But Gaines took the ball, handed it to Kai Sherrard, who ended up pitching it to McNeil there on the option play. So Elizabethtown from their own 4-yard line, 4th down, appears to be running number 82, Brandon Parsons, the kicker, in to attempt the field goal. Clock running under 5 minutes. Parsons has not made a field goal this year, but I think he's only attempted one. And the snap, hold, kicks up, and it's good. So Brandon Parsons with a 21-yard field goal for Elizabethtown increases the lead 17-7 with 4 minutes and 47 seconds left on the clock and in this first half. Parsons' first field goal of the season, and it couldn't come at a bigger time. That extends it out to a 2-score lead.
Just take it back to that handoff into an option play. I don't think we see that a couple years ago with Mark Brown calling the offense. He stuck to the old school wing tee, ran those plays well, but with his son Ross in there, he brings a new style of offense in, a little bit different than his dad.
He does, but they work out of that base wing tee. And it's really exciting to watch how they adjust that every year for the different talent. And for the different talent that Elizabethtown puts out, they make great adjustments for their offense and tweaks. Ashland leads Belfry 7-0 at halftime in Ashland, so a little bit of a surprise there. Maybe Ashland hadn't gotten the respect that they're due across the state, but they're obviously a very good team. Parsons set to kick off for Elizabethtown. And once again, he'll kick it low and hard, and it bounces over number 4, Messer's head. He fields it about the 2-yard line and makes a move on number 12, Grayson Hayner. Ends up tackling him at about the 9-yard line, 9 or 10-yard line. So E-Town got a nice bounce there and went over Messer's head. He had to go back and get it, and by that time the E-Town defense was on him. So Cal's going to have a long field to go here. Looks like it's going to take them 90 yards to get in the end zone. They're going to start on their own 10-yard line.
This is a huge drive for Cal. Not only them being down 10 points, but they do get the ball at the start of the second half to maybe try to do a 14-point swing here.
We'll see if Elizabethtown's defense can answer. Cal has plenty of time. 2 timeouts left. Masters in the gun, Babin the gun back. He looks to his left to pass, and he's going to keep it. He's sacked.
That was a lot of pressure by 50 Dylan Miller, and then I think finally brought down by 74 Ryan Piles.
There's just not a whole lot of time for hesitation there in the middle, especially when you have Ryan Piles on the big push, and he has a knack for getting back there to the quarterback. Masters in the gun again. Got 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Babin the gun back with him. Looks over to the sideline and looks like he's looking for a different play from Coach Cantwell.
E-Town immediately drops 2 safeties back.
And the snaps away. They give it to Babin up the middle, and he's going to be swallowed up quick by number 2, Trey Durbin. Who's that on the ground there?
That was Ryan Piles.
And Ryan Piles again. Had him around the legs. Durbin hit him high, and it takes 2 a lot of times to get a guy like that down. So Cal's really pushed back, 3rd and 13 from their own 7-yard line. So
timeout, Cal.
Yeah, Coach Cantwell wisely takes a timeout to get his offense adjusted, because the last thing you want to do is have to punt from a short end zone or have a very costly turnover with 3 minutes and 42 seconds left here in the second quarter, and give E-Town the opportunity to stick another one in before halftime. So it does appear that E-Town's defense has adjusted a little, and it's just so important for that front line defense of Elizabethtown to get a hold of Babin before he can get to our middle backers or the secondary, because then he's a load once he's out in the open. And E-Town has been able to do that so far on this defensive possession.
Interested to see the call here. E-Town's line has been getting pressure. Back to the quarterback quick. Wondering if they'll load up and try to throw something deep or something quick in space to see if they can make up some of the yards they need.
Well, a big bomb here that's intercepted is the same as a punt, so it'll be interesting to see if he takes a couple steps back and lets it go. Andre Murphy back deep at the safety position for Elizabethtown. Masters in the gun, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. 1 to his right's going in motion, and he's going to keep it, and he's rolling to his right and doesn't have a whole lot to throw it to, and he's going to run out of bounds.
They ran that motion across, and then we see a post and a wheel, and there was just not a secret to the E-Town defensive backs. They did a good job, and that was what you call a coverage sack.
And then once he rolled to his right, there was nobody to throw it to. So he wisely ran out of bounds, and Cal will punt from their own 7-yard line, 4th and 13, and Cam Sherrard will be back to receive.
Cal loading up in a tight punt formation.
And the snap's away, and the punt's away, and it's a spiral punt. Sherrard will field it about the 38-yard line, makes a move, breaks to his right, now to his left. Splits 3 defenders, still up on the – he's only going to get about 3 yards, but he did a lot of work for it. So that's going to be to the 35-yard line of Cal. E-Town will take over 1st and 10 with 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in this second quarter. So a big opportunity for Elizabethtown. If they can stick a touchdown in right here, then that's going to put a lot of pressure on that Cal offense. They've got 2 timeouts left, 3 minutes, 22 seconds left, so plenty of time to run whatever they want to in their offense. Game's in the gun. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, looking for the throwback, and it's going to be short, incomplete. But once again, Jay, he got some rush that he's not used to getting there. So Coach Cantwell, I'm sure, worked all week, and they've seen that in previous film that he hasn't had a whole lot of pressure, and you got to move him off his mark because he's so accurate and sees the field so well. And Cal's been able to do that a little bit tonight. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 on the incomplete pass. The clock will stop with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left. Elizabethtown has the ball at the Cal 35-yard line. I think they need to get about the 20-yard line to get in Parsons' range. And there's the double handoff again. Cam Sherrard will have it, or that's Kai Sherrard, excuse me. And he's going to get 2 or 3 there, but not a lot. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7 or 8, it appears. Cal's just staying very disciplined on defense on a lot of those wing T plays that Elizabethtown's used to busting for good yardage. Prather will come off the field in the tight end spot. They'll send Murphy out to give Games another target out wide. and he'll set up in the shotgun. McNeil the gun back. And either Cal jumped or we had procedure on Elizabethtown. But we got flags. False start on Elizabethtown, so that's going to put them behind the chains now. So Elizabethtown's going to have to hit a big play here for a first down.
I think E-Town went up there trying to get a hard count and maybe did it a little too quick, got some of the linemen up front moving.
So if they get 7 or 8 yards here, are they in 4-down territory? Game's in the gun. He's going to take it and roll to his right, looking downfield. Passes across the middle to number 5, Cam Williams, and it's a fantastic throw, fantastic catch. And I tell you what, that may be the hardest ball that I've seen Clay Games throw in his football career because it had some zip on it. Williams was able to go up and make a great play on it, and it's going to be a first down to Elizabethtown about the 11-yard line with 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. E-Town driving again.
Seems like in this first half, anytime E-Town needs a big play, they've gotten it.
So Games will go back in the gun here. McNeil the gun back. He takes the snap, looks to his right, quick string to his right, gets the ball out to Cam Sherrard, who makes a man miss, and he's going to be run out of bounds around the 8 or 9 yard line, maybe the 10. Good defense out there by the cornerback for Christian Academy of Louisville because he's tough to tackle in open space, but he used that sideline as a friend and pushed him out of bounds.
Seems like both these defenses are putting their DBs on an island, making them guard both receivers one-on-one.
So E-Town's in field goal range from the 10-yard line here, but a touchdown would really make a statement for him. Game's in the gun again, 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. McNeil the gun back. He takes a snap, rolls to his left. He's looking in the corner. Touchdown. Alondre Murphy hits him at the pylon, just inside the pylon. Touchdown Elizabethtown, no flags on the field. So good throw, great catch. Elizabethtown goes up 23-7, and 2 minutes left in the second quarter, and now Parsons will head out on the field to attempt the extra point. And back to our point earlier, when you give him enough time and he can get on his spot, he's a pretty accurate thrower. So Parsons setting up for the extra point out of the hole to Clay Games and the snap of Gavin Young. Snaps down, kicks up, and it's good. So E-Town takes a 24-7 lead here late in the second quarter of this Class 3A state semifinal game over the Christian Academy of Louisville. Cal will get the ball. They have 2 minutes before halftime, 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and they're out of timeouts. So they're going to be a little bit limited maybe on their play calling here because the clock's not their friend. What a great first half we've seen so far. But I still contest. You take those 2 turnovers by Callaway, and this is a lot closer game, obviously. E-Town was able to capitalize on one of them, but they flipped the field on the other one at least. They didn't score points, but they backed Cal up a little bit. So Parsons set to kick off. E-Town fans with a lot of life here. Parsons is approaching the ball. Another low line drive kick. It's going to be handled about the 37-yard line. And he's going to go down on a knee when he catches it.
And that was number 81, Dupes.
He didn't have much of a chance to return that. He just had to secure it. Looks like he's shaking up a little bit on the play.
Parsons has been getting the bounces on his kickoffs. He's been going in his favor.
He's mastered the bounce, that's for sure. So Cal in the shotgun, Masters in the shotgun. Babin the lone back, takes the snap. He's going to pass, looking to his left, throws the ball across the middle. Oh, and almost picked off. Went right through the hands of number 4, Easton Messer, who is usually the hot read that he's looking for. We got a flag on the play.
I think that's going to be holding on Cal.
And it is. So they'll back him up 10 yards. not the start that they wanted on this drive.
And that was a holding on Ryan. Ryan Piles was held there, and like we said, he's been making a lot of noise in the backfield, and he's a hard guy to stop.
You know, that was a good ball, too, that Masters threw. He has a nice little arm on him, fairly accurate. And Cal seems very content to know what they're good at, and that's what they pound you with. Those quick throws and pounding Babin up the middle. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the second and 22, or 1st and 22, excuse me. And they're going to hit Babin in space. And he will go down about the 26-yard line. Just a little quick screen to the running back there. Cal's working quick to get to the line of scrimmage. Elizabethtown defense looking to get set. Masters in the gun. And he fakes to his right, rolls to his right, throws the ball out of bounds. E-Town's secondary doing a good job covering. Of course, they've dropped back everybody they have just about because of the time left in the half. With 1:27 to go, that ball was incomplete. But Cal's got to be thinking right here, too. They don't want to give E-Town the ball back with 2 timeouts and give them another opportunity to score here. So there's 1:27 left on the clock, 3rd and 19. You almost think they're going to have to hit a real easy quick pass to get that clock running or run the ball. So Masters in the gun, 3 receivers to his right. Babin the gun back. And he does do that. He hands the ball to Babin, and the refs are blowing the whistle again. Not sure what happened. Ball started, looks like. But they're trying to get that clock rolling. Illegal procedure on Cal, which will back them up 5 more yards. So it'll be 3rd and 24 from the 21-yard line with 1:24 left to go. Elizabethtown still has 2 timeouts, Jay. You got to think Coach Ross Brown will use one quickly after this play to try to stop that clock. They're going to run it down as far as they can. But E-Town could possibly get it punted back to them with 45, 50 seconds. Quick screen to the outside. And big play on the outside by Ryder Gregory, picking up and running back out of the backfield. And it looks like it may be for a loss, but regardless, Cal's going to have to punt. It'll be timeout Elizabethtown, just like we thought.
That was a big tackle by number 6, Ryder Gregory. He read that well, got back there fast, got a little bump there, and ran him into the guy with the ball.
Well, he actually got pushed in the back that they didn't call, but didn't affect the play, so that may have been why there wasn't a flag. But that's going to bring up 4th and 30 for Cal with 53 seconds left. Elizabethtown wisely took the timeout to stop the clock because they've got to kick it back to them. And as you know, with Elizabethtown's quick strike offense, they can put points on the board here before this clock strikes halftime. For those that are interested, reports that we're getting is Ashland's up 7-0 on Belfry up at Ashland Putnam Stadium. So that's the other state semifinal game that's going on. The winner of each of these games will play next Saturday, I believe, at 11 o'clock in Lexington. So Cal set to punt. Cam Sherrard, the punt returner for Elizabethtown. He sets up on about the 50. I can't think they want to kick it to him. And they snap it over Cal's head, and it's going to be a safety. So while I know E-Town's put a lot of pressure on their offense, they've still made some costly mistakes. So that's going to be a safety. Snapped it over the punter's head in the end zone, which is going to make it 26-7. And they're now going to have to kick off to Elizabethtown. The kind of stuff that'll make a coach pull their hair out.
You know, as discipline we've seen Cal too. These may be uncharacteristic mistakes, but E-Town's putting a lot of pressure on them, and I think they're causing some of these mistakes.
And the big momentum is headed E-Town's way right now. So if Cal can get out of this without giving up any more points in the first half, maybe it'll give them some time to regroup, calm down this E-Town crowd and this E-Town sideline. Because right now they're feeling it. So Cal set to kick off from the 20-yard line after the safety. It made it 26-7 Elizabethtown. 53 seconds left in the second quarter. Cam Sherrard deep for Elizabethtown. And he's approaching the ball. We'll see where he kicks it, if he tries to kick it long or squib it. And he does put a pretty good boot into it. It'll go long. Fielded by number 22, Kai Sherrard, who's got it. And he is almost going to wait too long there to turn on the Jets. But E-Town will have it at about the 44-yard line, their own 44-yard line, with 48 seconds left in the half. So what are you thinking if you're Coach Brown here, Jay? You trying to put more points on the board? You trying to get in field goal range? Or you happy with what you have, and let's get to halftime and talk about it a little bit?
I think the Elizabethtown Panthers are going to do everything in their power here to try to score again.
So game's in the gun, and he drops back to pass, fakes the screen, looks downfield, and he's going to overthrow number 22, Kai Sherrard. Looks like Cal was impressed defense there and didn't let Sherrard get off his route, which is a compliment, and it was overthrown a little bit through the timing off.
I think E-Town respects the position they're in and respects Cal too much to run the clock out and not try to put any more points up on this board.
Well, with the momentum that you have, the last thing you want to do is throw a pick six out here in the flat somewhere and then just kill everything that you've done with 43 seconds left. But there's some calculated risk, too, to trying to move the ball downfield and put some more points on the board. Game's in the gun again, got three receivers to his right. And he'll drop back, and he's scanning the field, looks to his left, hits Londre Murphy on the left sideline in front of the E-Town bench at about the 48-yard line of Cal, and that'll stop the clock. He's run out of bounds with 40 seconds left to go. Elizabethtown still has a timeout, so if they can hit a big play downfield, they can always use that timeout to try to stop the clock and get a kickoff if possible, if they can't get in the end zone. Game's under center this time. Got Williams to his right, and he's got jet sweep to his left with Kai Sherrard. Nowhere to go, and he smartly runs the ball out of bounds to stop the clock. And that is going to bring up 4th and 1 or 2, it looks like. 4th and 3, excuse me, from the 49-yard line. And it looks like they're sending in the punt team, which is wise.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't realize that it was 3rd down. He probably shouldn't have got out of bounds there. But that's okay. He might not have known where he was exactly on the field. So game's back. It looks like Cal's coming after this punt. And the punt's away. And he shanks it out of bounds over the E-Town bench. And they did come after it. Grayson Hayner, the up back there, got hit by about 2 people, and that couldn't have been comfortable. So Cal will take back over. 29 seconds left. How much risk do they take here is the question, because they don't want to do the same thing E-Town didn't want to do. They don't want to throw a pick six here and have E-Town go in with more points. Or
I think you're right, but I think being down 26-7 and knowing how fast E-Town does score, that you need to try to get some points on the board, especially going into halftime, knowing you will get the ball back.
So Masters in the gun, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, and E-Town's blitzing. And he looks across the middle and completes a pass to number 4, Messer. He squeezed that in there between 3 E-Town defenders. And so there's a lot of urgency here. 22 seconds left. They started the clock, set the chains. 2 receivers to his right. He's in the gun again. And he steps back, looks down the field, throws it back across the middle again, and it's dropped.
And there it is again. There's that shallow play. You got the dig over the middle and the small drag coming across. They've ran that 3 or 4 times, and it's been open every time.
You know, Easton Messer drops that ball, and I bet you, I haven't seen him play a ton, but I bet he doesn't drop very many, and that could have possibly put them close to field goal range. But if it's complete, they only have enough time to set the chains before they can start the clock again. There's 10 seconds left, 2nd and 10 from the Elizabethtown 45-yard line, 10 seconds left in the second quarter.
And we've seen the quarterback be able to throw the ball deep, so maybe a shot to the end zone is not something we will see.
He's got enough arm to get it there. We saw that early in the first quarter. 3 receivers to his right. And the quick screen to the
Pass,
left,
pass,
and it's a
halfback
halfback pass. That is almost picked off, but is going to be out of bounds. That was creative. So he takes that pass, throws it backwards, and that goes to number 2 for Cal, Adam Ballard, who tries to throw it downfield and ends up throwing it out of bounds. So 4 seconds left, 3rd and 10 from the Elizabethtown 45-yard line. Cal has no timeouts, so they need to throw one up here.
And that deep secondary for E-Town's all seniors, and they've seen plenty of trick plays come their way, and they did a good job of staying back.
It would behoove E-Town to get some rush right here if they can from somewhere. But Cal spread them out so much, it's going to be tough.
E-Town's rushing 3.
And Masters is back, looking downfield. Hits that short intermediate route to Messer, and he's still on his feet. And it's finally brought down by Cam McNeil about the 30-yard line. So that is going to do it for the first half here in Elizabethtown. Elizabethtown Panthers lead 26-7 over the Christian Academy of Louisville Centurions. This is a Hardin County Educational Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all of your telecommunications needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Blue Ribbon Renovations is a new locally owned Mark Harris company that is offering 0% interest and no payments for 12 months on windows, doors, fences, roofs, decks, siding, and much, much more. To explore your options or schedule your appointment today, call Michelle at 270-763-3186. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for your recycling needs, located in Elizabethtown on 31W, just south of Exit 91 on Interstate 65. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned family-run pest control company and has been serving Hardin, Meade, Grayson, and Nelson counties in the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. Whatever your pest control issues are, termites, spiders, crickets, general pests, even moles, their team has the knowledge, skill, and training to safely and effectively eliminate the problem. Call 270-737-6900 or go online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point, or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. So that'll do it for the first half here at Elizabethtown High School. Elizabethtown leads 26-7 over Christian Academy of Louisville, and we'll be back in about 20 minutes for the start of the second half.
Hello, high school sports fans. I'm Gina Ryan, Director of Hardin County Educational and Community Television, and we're going to give you another great interview with one of our outstanding sponsors for our live sports coverage. E-Town Exterminating is in the house. Sean Rich is here with us today, and Sean, since we're distanced beyond 6 feet, we're going to remove our masks.
Okay.
We like to model our good social distancing, but we like people to be able to hear us as well.
Right.
Sean, practically from the very beginning, E-Town Exterminating has been a sponsor of HCEC-TV's live sports coverage with Brandenburg Telecom. For those at home that may not know, tell us a little bit about E-Town Exterminating. How did it start?
Well, we're a family-ran business, exterminating company. We were founded in 1976 by my parents, Roy and Brenda Rich. And we've been around since then. I'm the second generation that's taken over, and we provide exterminating pest control termite services throughout Hardin County and all the surrounding counties around here.
What prompted your dad and mom to do that? What inspired them to start a business?
Well, years ago, my dad was part of the government, state government, and he was over he was the director of pesticides on the regulation side, and saw an opportunity and wanted to go into the exterminating business.
Sean, I know that you lost your father earlier this past year. Tell us a little bit about your dad and what made him so special.
Dad and I had a very unique relationship as a father, son, and as business partner, and we spent a lot of time together. And so I was very fortunate to be able to spend a lot of time with him and to learn the business through his eyes, and also he pushed me a lot, and as a business person. But I was very fortunate to get those life experiences through him.
I was going to say that closeness, riding in the truck together.
Well, I started working with him when I was in kindergarten. I would help spray houses, and from there, and we've been together ever since.
Ever since, yeah, that's absolutely awesome, and he's left a rich legacy, and
Yes.
just like your last name, it's a rich legacy for that. The community businesses that we have, what really makes them unique is that you serve those that are your neighbors, and you want to give that type of service. What's that commitment like with your business?
Majority of our customers have been with us for a long time, and they're not only our customers, but we consider them family. And so we want to go above and beyond for our family and customers.
Tell me a little bit about how your services have evolved through the years.
Well, when we first went into business, it was mainly just doing like termite and pest control. But over the last few years, we're doing a lot of bed bug control now. Those bed bugs have come back. We do a lot of services for that. We take care of moles in yards, mosquitoes. So we've evolved that way.
That's amazing. Now, you've also really expanded your coverage area. So you started in Elizabethtown, and where are you available now?
We're in about 8 different counties. We go as far as north of Shepherdsville. We go south. We go down in Hart County. We go over in Grayson, Breck County, LaRue, Greene County, over by Campbellsville. So we cover a lot of counties.
When your dad first opened the business, how many employees other than him and his wife?
There's about 3 employees, and we have about 40 now.
Okay, awesome. Now, in addition to changing the services, the way you do that business has also changed because of technology. So what are some of those changes that have occurred through the years?
Well, the main thing is utilization of computers, the way that we do our data and how we communicate with our customers. We do it that way, and then also through through the media, through social media and stuff like that.
With it's always good that rather than having just one visit and you're done, is to have like an ongoing contract.
Yes.
Okay, and what are the benefits of those contracts? And give us an example of one.
Well, we do a lot of residential homes on a monthly basis. We assign you to a regular technician. That technician gives you a call each month and sets up an appointment, comes out and services the home. But if you have a problem in between those that monthly service, then you just give our technician, our office call, and they come back out and they'll take care of it, no extra charge.
Oh, that's amazing. When people do call you, they usually get a person on the phone.
Yes, we have 4 people in our office staff, and they're there to take your call.
Okay. Being a sponsor of our live sports coverage, why was that important to you to get involved?
It's particularly important for me because I know that with anything that has to do with high school, especially with sports, they need the funding for it. And as a company, that we like to be there to help support all the different high schools here in Hardin County.
And you were an athlete yourself.
Yes, played basketball and ran cross country and track.
Okay, and we do cover all of those things. Cross country and track, we usually do highlight features and such. And this year we kind of had to put our beginning of our seasons on hold because of COVID-19. But why is it important to you as a community partner to be there to support people too?
Well, it's all about the kids. I know as an athlete when I was growing up, the experience of being part of a team was very important to me, and those are the lifelong friendships that I've acquired over the years, and the ones that I still talk to every day. And so we want to be able to support those kids also and give those lifelong experiences to them.
Well, they work really hard.
They do.
They work extremely hard, and to not only put a great product out there, but it's also a way for those athletes, by bringing them live sports coverage, that and we also stream that too, that they can be seen by a broader audience, and that really helps out a great deal. Would you agree in that?
Yes, I would. To be able to get that exposure and show the community and show the pride that the hard work that these athletes give, and be able to do it on TV, it's unbelievable how you all are able to give that to them.
We have many individuals in our community that they watch all of them religiously. Especially
Yes.
if I had a young lady to call, and she was saying that she wanted to make sure that she could watch all of her grandson's football games. Anytime we covered them, she wanted to make sure that she could tune in then. Now, how can individuals get in touch with your business?
Well, they can call us on our phone at 270-737-6900, or they can get online and get in touch with us through our website, and that's www.mugabug.com.
I was going to say, that has that been your slogan from the very beginning? The mugabug.com?
Yes, that's something my mother came up with, Mugabug. That's part of our logo right here, and it's MUGGABUG.
I was going to say, it's really catchy, and that's one thing everybody can remember really easily.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Sean, thank you again for coming in, and also for being one of our longtime sponsors on our live sports coverage. Just know that without your support, we could not do what we do. So we really appreciate your commitment to our local athletes, HCEC-TV and Brandenburg Telecom's live sports coverage, and to the community that you live in and serve in. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for this opportunity.
It's time to meet another of our wonderful sponsors with HCEC-TV and Brandenburg Telecom's live sports coverage. Today we are joined by Whitney Ballou. She is a physical therapist at Physical Therapy Associates, which has been with us for many, many years, almost practically from the very beginning. And without their support, we could not do what we do in regards to our live sports coverage. Whitney, we are 6 feet apart, so we're going to remove our masks so you can hear us a little bit better and see our happy faces.
That's right.
So, Whitney, tell us about the history of Physical Therapy Associates.
I have been with the company for almost 5 years now. Guy Wallace, who is very well known in the community, started the company in 2002. We are up to 6 clinics now. Our clinic that we are in now in the Elizabethtown location has actually continued to grow. We add on and then we add on a little bit more. So growth is a good thing, especially with the economy the way that it is these days. It has grown not just employee-wise, obviously patient-wise, just the way that we use the building for a lot of the local sports, both school-related and the extracurriculars that people participate in. And the building is constantly in use with the turf that we have now too. So
Right, that's awesome. The turf really provides well, it gives you extra space and gets you to do what you need to do. What types of services do you provide?
So we provide the obvious, the orthopedic related, the surgicals, those that are not surgical as well, just your general injury for the athletes that I know that you and I have specifically discussed. We treat a lot of neurological conditions from vertigo to dizziness, balance type issues. We work on a lot of gait with patients. Our turf provides a great area for us to do those types of things. We provide traction, dry needling, A-stem, which is just an instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. We have a lot of services and a lot of different certifications within our licensed individuals that can provide a pretty good variety of treatments for our patients.
And with diabetic patients, there's some procedures
Correct.
that you provide too?
Neuropathy is something that we see quite a bit of. There is an anodyne treatment that we use with some of those patients. And then again, as far as the gait side that is related to a lot of those neuro problems, we use a lot of our turf for that as well.
COVID-19 has probably affected your business, so
Yes.
talk about what's been going on with COVID-19.
So all of physical therapy across the board was shut down for roughly a week, a little bit less than that, just depending on what area you were in. They deemed us as non-essential to start, and then a lot of people went to bat for us, thankfully, saying that we are essential, which we definitely feel that we are. We were cut down to our caseload with just those urgent and emergent cases, which would be your surgical patients who needed to come to us so that they didn't end up worse than they were prior to surgery, fractures, really bad injuries that needed quick, if we didn't get to them quick, that they were going to be in a lot worse shape than they were off. So it cut us down quite a bit. We cut our caseload by, probably 80%. We've slowly built that back up, so we're getting close to more what we would consider normal, but we can see a little bit of everything now, so we're thankful to be kind of free reign with everybody again.
Well, and in regards to delivery of service, I'm sure that you all have always taken protective,
Absolutely.
whatever type of protection you need in terms of keeping both you and the patient
Right.
safe and things. In regards to athletics, high school athletics, you used to think, oh, those high school athletes, those middle school athletes, even elementary school athletes, they're young, their bones heal, their muscles heal. How many of those patients do you see on a regular basis?
They do heal much quicker, but yes, they do still get hurt. That has actually gone down in number as well. The sports were cut back there for a while. People weren't getting out, so people weren't doing as much as they were prior to all this COVID stuff that occurred. And our caseload's getting back up to normal with that. Our kids make up, probably anywhere 25 to 50% of our caseload, just depending on the given time frame, sports seasons that we're in and things like that. It's definitely increased since the school sports have been allowed to play. I was not going to be surprised if we saw more, just because they weren't getting the time to practice and do things before they were playing games. But thankfully we haven't seen a whole lot of injuries, which is good for bad for business, but definitely good for the individual, and that's what we care about the most.
Awesome.
Yes.
You are a former high school athlete at Central Hardin High School. Just briefly talk about those years.
The glory days, as I like to call them. I played soccer and basketball both. I wouldn't trade those years for the world. I had very good coaches, very good teammates, and I just kept saying, I was telling patients and employers or our coworkers that I wouldn't trade those days for the world. So I can't imagine what some of these kids have gone through that haven't been able to play. They've missed out on not just senior years, but any year of high school, any year of middle school that you can't play those sports. That keeps so many kids not just out of trouble, but keeps them in shape, keeps the mental aspect of their lives in check too, which is so important. And I'm glad that they've been able to participate in a lot of those things now. I know there's still restrictions with it, but those are days that I wouldn't take away from my life, and I know that those kids wouldn't either. So I'm glad to see that they're back in session with a lot of that.
And with your sponsorship, we're able to bring live coverage to those that can't attend the
Correct.
sporting events because we're limited in number.
Correct.
They can watch that event at home, and
Right.
they can stream it, and they can share it, and so that's a huge benefit. When you were an athlete, did you notice HCEC-TV?
Oh, yes. I did, absolutely. And that's such a good privilege for them, especially with having limited tickets. I come from a very large family, which we were just talking about, so thinking about my parents, my aunts and uncles that came to games, or even just friends, you've got so many classmates that you hope can be there. Again, that's part of the glory days, as I call them, your friends going and cheering you on. And so for them to at least be able to watch it and talk to the players about how they did, know what a great catch or what a great shot, those mean a lot to those players. So it's great that you all are able to provide that service.
Great, and it does give them a little bit of extra exposure.
Absolutely.
To the broader audience and things.
Absolutely.
Maybe a coach from a Division I or Division II might
Exactly.
check you out. So, what about your commitment to the community? PTA is very involved. What are some of those things that you all really enjoy participating in?
So sponsorship is something that Guy Wallace is big on too. There's a lot of different recreational leagues that he's a part of from all of his kids that participate, but the marketing aspect, there's a lot that they're involved in with that as well. Our athletes are, I say, some of our prized possessions, but it's really great to be able to work with them, just to be able to see them get back on the field. Working with any patient is excellent, but when we can get our athletes specifically back to a school setting, whether it's just going to class because they can get off their crutches or get out of their wheelchair or get back on the field or court, it's great that we're able to play such a big role in that for them.
Awesome.
Yes.
For individuals that would like to contact physical therapy associates, what can they do?
They can call our office at 270-234-1569. We're open 7 to 5 Monday through Friday, so they can get in contact with us for that. We also rent out our turf. Well, we did pre-COVID, but we've got 5,400 square feet of turf facility that we also use for some of those recreational activities that hopefully once we get a little bit lifted on our restrictions that we're able to start incorporating that again as well.
And that turf application is really important. What I said it just gives you a wide open space, but what kinds of things take place in there?
It is great for our ACL patients specifically. We have them doing some very high level activities, some running, jogging, sprinting, a lot of agility type activities with ladders and hurdles. It's great for our neuro patients where we're doing gait and balance stuff, just trying to walk laps, working on getting from a walker to a cane, just being able to have that space where people can open up without feeling scared because we're too close to other tables or other patients and things like that. It's been great as far as COVID goes because the 6-foot rule has not been a problem. We are very spaced out, probably 20 feet between each table, which has been very nice. We actually added onto the turf initially, and then that didn't seem big enough, so we actually added on again. So we can also do throwing programs. We have the distance to be able to do those types of things. For our baseball and softball players, football players, of course, it's set up like an actual football field. We have the yards marked out, and it's nice to be able to work with that with them too.
I would say that physical therapy is one of those areas that has exploded in the last even decade.
Right.
When I was very young, you never heard, really, I didn't know of anyone that ever had gone through physical therapy. But now physical therapy extends to even the mindset and the emotional. So can you address that? Why do you think that has occurred?
Pain is perception. Everybody perceives it differently. Of course, pain tolerance is different across the board, but if you hurt, it absolutely changes your entire mental state. So our physical abilities will absolutely address our mental abilities throughout daily life, from work to just waking up in the mornings. I actually had never I wasn't super familiar with.
I'm Jeff Gregory, back with Jay Gregory and Garrett Inman, our statistician here at Elizabethtown High School, where the Elizabethtown Panthers lead 26-7 over Christian Academy of Louisville in a Class 3A semifinal game. So far, Elizabethtown has benefited from some turnovers in the first half and a safety snap that went over the punter's head back in the end zone, and they're in a comfortable position right now. But we've seen enough from Cal to know that this game's far from over, Jay, and there's a lot of work to be done left for this Elizabethtown Panther football team. We're going to start with the Garrett Inman score tracker. Elizabethtown got on the board with 4 minutes and 46 seconds left in the first quarter on a 40-yard run by Kai Sherrard, and they led 7-0 after the first quarter, which took us into the second quarter where Cal answered on a 21-yard run by Brant Babin with 11:43 left in the second quarter, which tied the ball game. Elizabethtown answered at the 8:29 mark. Cam Sherrard scored on a 3-yard jet sweep to make the score 14-7 after a Brandon Parsons extra point was good. Then with 4:47 left in the second quarter, Brandon Parsons was good from 21 yards for a field goal to push the score to 17-7. Elizabethtown then got the ball back, scored again at the 2:05 mark, which made it 24-7 Elizabethtown, and that was on a Clay Games to Alondre Murphy touchdown pass in the left corner of the end zone. And then, of course, the safety where the ball was snapped over the punter's head, which made the score 26-7 just before halftime. So, Jay, if you're Coach Cantwell, what are you telling your Centurions at halftime?
So I think if you're Coach Cantwell, you tell them not to stress. They're a good football team. They were moving the ball fine on offense. They just had a couple bad breaks within turnovers going their way. They're going to want to cut that out to continue to make a push to win this game. I think if you're also Cal, you realize that you have the ball to start this half and to swing some momentum your way, you're going to want to put some points on the board.
What's Coach Brown, Ross Brown, and Coach Quentin Brown telling those Panthers at halftime?
I think he's telling them you got 20 minutes left to go somewhere that you haven't gone in a long, long time. And you're telling them that you played a very, very good first half of football and to keep executing the way you have, and good things will happen.
You know, Cal's got a really good football team, and this is the first time that we've seen them this year live. We have seen them on tape. They don't appear to be a quick strike scoring team, at least maybe not against this athletic Elizabethtown defense. So I think it's imperative that they get some points on the board here early, because they don't want to fall behind another Elizabethtown touchdown, because that's going to be tough for them to recover from, I think. But there's still 2 long quarters of football left to go, and as if you recall from a couple weeks ago in that Bardstown game, Elizabethtown was able to flip the script on Bardstown in the 4th quarter, so anything's possible, especially with a really good football team out there in the Cal Centurions. So they're set to receive. E-Town's kickoff team is getting ready. Deep for Cal, looks like number 23. Find my
That's
list.
Gage Guerin.
Gage Guerin, good-looking kid. He's their 2nd leading receiver, although Elizabethtown has not been kicking the ball deep, so I think they're trying to keep it out of their playmakers' hands. They've done that all year long. And so the Elizabethtown kickoff team is walking out on the field, getting set to kick off to Cal for the start of this state semifinal, Class 3A, 2nd half. Scores of interest around the state. Ashland's up 10-0 on Belfry, and that was at the half. I think they probably started the 3rd quarter now, but we don't have an update yet, but we'll look for that. That'll be the winner of that game will play the winner of this game next Saturday at 11 o'clock at Kroger Field in Lexington. So Brandon Parsons set to kick off for Elizabethtown. He's been squib kicking every single one of them. We'll see if, and he does it again, and he kicks it straight to Babin, the big running back. And he takes the ball, and he's going to be brought down. Oh, he strips. He got stripped. Trey Durbin stripped him. I don't know who recovered, but Durbin, instead of going to tackle the great big fullback, he just grabbed hold of him and looks like jerked his arm real hard and pulled the ball loose. But it looks like Cal has recovered the ball. So that would have been a terrible, terrible break for Cal if that would have gone the other way. So that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the Cal 41-yard line. Elizabethtown still giving up good field position on those special teams. So Cal needs to come out really strong here offensively. Let's see if E-Town can continue the momentum that they had towards the end of the 1st half.
Cal's in with 45 as the fullback, and that's Babin's twin brother, the running back.
And Masters takes the ball, and he's going to hand off to his big fullback, Brant Babin. And he's going to get a 1st down. Looks like good for about 11 yards, and that's going to move the chains right off the bat. And that was one time, Jay. Generally, your running back follows the fullback, but that time the fullback went up the middle, and Babin kind of kicked that out towards the outside. But he was brought down by a couple Panthers, and he's back to his hard-running ways. Whenever he gets to that 2nd level, he's a load. Same formation. Masters hands it off to Babin in the backfield, and Dylan Miller gets through and gets a hand on him there late and brings him down, but he's still got a 2-yard gain. So Elizabethtown's defense working hard here against that big running game of Cal. Masters under center, back in the I formation with the Babin brothers in the backfield. Takes a snap, and he's looking to throw, and overthrows his receiver out there. That's going to be Easton Messer, who he had open, but he threw it a couple feet too high there. He got the ball out, a little 2-step drop, and spun and off it went, but wasn't able to complete the pass. So they're at 3rd and 8 from the 45-yard line of Elizabethtown.
Cal continues to run those stops. I think if they want to hit a big play, they may try a stop and go and see if they can get one of the E-Town corners to bite.
You know, they have big play potential on the outside. He's got a big enough arm to throw it over the top of E-Town, but secondary of E-Town so far is held on that. So under center again, he takes the snap and hands the ball off to Babin, who's headed around the left side, and he's got a head of steam, and he's going to get tackled about 3 or 4 yards short, it looks like. And that's going to be Trey Durbin and Cam McNeil, the 2 middle backers that have taken a beating by Babin all night long, but they're hanging in there with him. That's going to bring up 4th and 3 from the Elizabethtown 40-yard line. So big play here. Cal desperately needs to continue this drive, and if E-Town can get a stop here, that's going to keep the momentum strong in their direction. You got to look for a quick out or a healthy dose of Babin here, and they've got Babin in the backfield in the pistol, and he gets the ball up the middle, and It's going to be close, but I believe the second effort's going to give him enough for a first down. It all depends on the spot here, because it took about 5 Panthers to get him down.
I think the spot looks good.
Big Nick Langseth in on that tackle, and a host of other Panthers.
E-Town rotated their defensive lineman. They moved Ryan Piles over to DN and brought in another D tackle, Nick Langseth. But I don't think it's going to be enough, and that'll be a Cal first down.
And the E-Town sideline is not happy, and neither is the home crowd, but I think that's a pretty decent spot. It was close and hard to tell. The second effort's what did it. So same formation. What do you call that, Jay? Like a half wishbone with the back in the pistol, and they give it to Babin again, and he's going to get tripped up, thankfully, for Elizabethtown, but not after about a 5-yard gain.
Like E-Town, Cal's getting in a lot of different formations, but kind of running the same plays off of them.
They'll bring up 2nd and 5 from the Elizabethtown 32-yard line, so Cal's knocking on the door, and they're using that big back to do it. So same formation with the fullback, and Masters is looking to throw, gets the ball out quick to the left sideline where he will find his receiver, and that's going to be Gage Guerin, it looks like, and that's going to be a first down. That's that quick out that you've been talking about all night, and they're pretty good at it. I don't know if E-Town's afraid to press there at the line of scrimmage to give up the big play and let them behind him or not, but it seems that quick out is always a viable option for them to throw to, and he gets the ball out in a hurry.
Cal's marching down the field, strong first drive out of the half.
Same formation, Masters in the gun, Babin in the pistol. There is a flag down, but he's gotten through the middle of the line of scrimmage, and he's going to have a big gain, about 10 yards. We'll see what the flag is.
That was a quick flag.
E-Town's pointing towards Cal. It had to be a false start to throw it that quick. And it is. So that's going to back Cal up 5 yards instead of having a 8-9 yard gain. So that'll bring up 1st and 15 from the 26, I believe. Those are the kind of penalties that really hurt Cal, especially if they're going to ground and pound like that. You get behind the chains, that's tough to do when you're trying to accomplish things on the ground.
Especially up the middle, like they have been.
26-7, Elizabethtown early in the third quarter, 8:40 left to go. And Cal comes out, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He's under center, and he's dropping back to pass, looking over to the middle of the field, and he's getting some rush there. And he's got and it's picked. Almost picked off. What a great play by Londre Murphy. Masters was looking for number 4, Ethan Messer, there across the middle, and I thought he had him for a second. He threw a really good ball, but Murphy, long and tall and quick, came out of nowhere and just about picked that off, and that would have been a disaster if he had for Cal. So they still have life. 2nd and 15 from the Elizabethtown 26 with 8:23 left to go in the third quarter. Cal approaching the line of scrimmage. Masters in the gun, having the gun back. Takes the snap, jet sweep to the right. Cal's blocking hard on the outside, and he's going to be taken down by number 21, Cameron McNeil, but not after a 7 or 8 yard gain. And those receivers from Cal are really doing a good job blocking on that outside. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 6 at the 17-yard line of Elizabethtown. Cal running the play in. Elizabethtown getting their defense set. Looks like they're going with a 3-man front there, 3 D linemen, and Cal in the gun, Babin the gun back. Masters looks back, looks to throw, and hits a quick slant across the middle for a touchdown. He's going to complete that to number 2. That is Adam Ballard for the touchdown for Cal. So that's going to make it 26-13 with 7 minutes, 29 seconds left in the third quarter. and Cal is on to attempt the extra point.
It's a good call right there by Cal's coach, finding a weakness in that cover 3. E-Town's been running pretty much all game.
Oh, they didn't get the snap down. Ball goes up. Oh, we got flags on the play, it looks like, for pass interference. The holder, which is the quarterback, threw a pass over there towards the left side on the bobbled snap, and E-Town, while they were trying to defend it, looks like we're going to get called for pass interference. So they're either going to run in, looks like they're going to run their offense back in.
One thing I did learn at halftime is that the Cal long snapper and starting defensive end did develop mono over the week, so he will not be playing. He has not been playing this game, and we've kind of seen the effect from that, considering the snaps that have been bad for Cal.
Yeah, that's a tough break. That's a tough, rough time of year to be able to develop a sickness when you're in such an important position, but that young man sure can't help that. But it has caused Cal problems tonight, but their offense is back out on the field to go for 2 right here. Marshall under center, hands it to Babin right up the middle, and then he's going to be stuffed. And who else, Jay? But big
I think that was Nick Langseth, number
big
75.
Nick Langseth just flat beat the guy in front of him and plugged that hole. Was able to stop that penetration by Babin. So with 7:29 left in the third quarter, Elizabethtown is 26, Cal's 13, and we got a ball game again. E-Town needs to answer here. Cal's not going to go away. They're too good for that. And they, like you said earlier, they've been in this position too many times. So as Cal's set to kick, Elizabethtown puts their kickoff return team on the field. And the kicker for Cal has got a pretty good little leg. He's kicked it deep every time. So Cam Sherrard deep for the Panthers, expecting the Cal kickoff here as the kicker approaches the ball. And he kicks away, and it's off to the left side. Sherrard fields it, touches it, and it goes out of bounds at about the 9-yard line. So bad break for E-Town. I'm almost convinced if he wouldn't have touched that, it would have bounced out of bounds and been a penalty. But he tried to pick it up and wasn't able to handle it, and it went out of bounds. So E-Town's got a long field to go, taking over at their own 9-yard line.
Be interested to see how E-Town approaches this drive, considering they've been very versatile in their offensive attack. I wonder if they're going to try to run the ball, maybe try to run some clock, or if they're just going to keep doing what they do and try to keep putting points on the board.
Game's under center, and he's going to hand it to McNeil, who's going to get popped right immediately at the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard. And he's tackled by a host of Centurion tacklers there. Looked like they faked jet sweep and then handed it to McNeil up the middle. 26-13, 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Way too early to get conservative. E-Town needs to try to put points on the board here. Keep answering the bell when Cal scores.
Both these teams do a good job of pursuing and swarming the guy with the ball, and a lot of gang tackles we see out there.
Game's in the gun, 2 receivers to both sides. And he's looking to throw, and he's picked. It's going to be a touchdown. Number 23 for Cal, and it's the script has been flipped here in a hurry.
That was number 23, Gage Guerin. Read that perfectly, took it back to the house.
Gaines tried to throw a quick out, and I don't believe he saw Guerin, and he stepped right in front of it, picked it, and ran it in for a touchdown. So we're 26-19 with 6:43 left in the third quarter.
And if you're the Cal Centurions, you couldn't have asked for a better start to this second half.
Nope, the momentum has definitely shifted. And their attempt at extra point kicks up, and it's good. So with 6:43 left in the third quarter, it's 26 Elizabethtown, Cal Centurions 20, and it's a brand new ball game. Not the start to the second half that this Elizabethtown football team wanted to see. So Cal will be set to kick off again. E-Town's just got to shake that off and put together a good drive right here.
If you're Cal, you're trying to ride this momentum, get the ball back, and This game is a long, long way from over, and like we said earlier, it's going to be a 4-quarter battle.
You know, the advantage for Cal on getting that quick pick six is it lets them stay in their game plan too. They don't have to drop back and throw it a bunch. They're just within striking distance of tying or going ahead in this game. So they have all their tools on deck. Cam Sherrard deep again for the Panthers. Field position here is important.
That's 89, Dylan Cornett.
So Cornett set to kick off, and he kicks it deep again in the same spot. Kai Sherrard fields this one, and he fumbles it and runs backwards, trying to make his way around the left side, chased by a ton of Cal defenders until he finally runs out of bounds at the Elizabethtown 19-yard line. So not great field position here for Elizabethtown again, but it's not the 9-yard line, it's the 19. And so Clay Gaines will shake that last interception off and start over and get this E-Town Panther offense moving. 3 receivers to his right, he's in the gun, he looks to throw, and he throws a big ball up over the top to, looks like he's looking for Cam Williams on that one, and it was just over his head. Looked like a little contact down there, but no flags. And the Cal sidelines is fired up. Their cheering section's fired up, and momentum has definitely shifted. And E-Town needs to find a way to shut that down or silence that a little bit.
You know, all game, anytime Cal has had any type of momentum, E-Town's hit a big play, and right now that's what they're searching for.
Gaines in the gun again. He's got Bunch to his left, 1 receiver to his right, and he's going to roll out, run the option, it looks like, to McNeil, who takes the pitch. And he's not going to get maybe a yard at the most. And we got a flag down over there on the far sideline. Got flags down everywhere. I'm not sure what happened. Got a player down for Elizabethtown. I think that's McNeil.
And Games got drilled on the pitch there. I'll be interested to see if they say anything about that.
Trainer's running out for McNeil there on the far sideline. So that's not they're going to get him up quick. I believe he had the air knocked out of him. He's up and moving in a hurry. Elizabethtown's wonder trainer, Carol George, out there to take care of him, and she gets him up and moving. He's got a small limp, though, so maybe that's a cramp or some kind of leg injury, but he's up and moving. Waiting for an announcement on the penalty. Apparently it's against Cal. I didn't see what the call was.
I think that was a late hit.
Late hit on Games on the pitch, or so Elizabethtown is conferencing Coach Ross Brown in the huddle. He runs Games in. Looks like Ryder Gregory's going in for McNeil.
What Cal may lack in a little bit of speed against this E-Town team, they're bringing back with a lot of physicality. They're hitting every single play.
So 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line of Elizabethtown. Gregory, the gun back now. Games in the shotgun. Hands it to Gregory around the left side. He's got some room, and he's going to get a gain of about 7 or 8 yards. Nice little run there. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 6, it looks like, from about the 42-yard line. McNeil just out of play, so that's good news for Elizabethtown as he replaces Gregory in the backfield. Games in the gun again. He's got 2 receivers to his right. And he will roll to his right, looking for Williams. And he catches it, makes a move on the Cal defender, and he's going to gain a couple, 3 more, and that's going to be good for a first down. So back to what we were talking about in the first half. Number 5 is Old Reliable. He's a chain mover. That quick out's been successful to him all year, and it was a good pass by Games. He's forgotten the interception, it looks like, and E-Town's moving the ball.
Another difference we've been talking about with this E-Town offense this year, the outside receiver usually has been more traditionally the deep ball go-getter, and this year it seems like Williams has been running 5, 10-yard outs and making very good catches and then getting upfield after that.
So the play clock's running down to 10. Coach Brown's talking with the referee, and looks like they're going to take a timeout. Elizabethtown up 26-20 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left here in this third quarter. And Coach Brown's going to take a timeout and walk out there and talk to his offense and talk about their position a little bit. What a quick swing. 13 points in no time on a Cal touchdown and then a Cal pick six. And extra point attempt, a 2-point conversion attempt was no good. So 26-20, 4:41 left. And E-Town has the ball at their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. It appears E-Town staying calm and collected, though. They're not in panic mode yet. Cal's definitely gained the momentum here early in the second half. A lot of good athletes on the field. Two different styles of play, really, but both teams have plenty of talent. And, you know, Coach Cantwell has done a wonderful job with this Centurion program. They lost 2 games early, and they've run off 5, 6, 7 games in a row now, and they're really improved and doing a great job. So Elizabethtown back out on the field, game's in the gun. He has got 3 receivers to his right, puts Cam Sherrard in motion. He's coming around the left side, and he's got a little bit of a crease, and he's still up. 20, 10, touchdown Elizabethtown on a great block down there on 2 different people by Trey Prather to allow Sherrard to sneak into the end zone. Great job by Prather. He didn't really have to get physical, but he got in the way enough to allow Sherrard to sneak inside that pylon there. So a 51-yard run by Cam Sherrard around that left sideline, and that's the answer that Elizabethtown was looking for.
You know, not only a good block by Prather down there from that tight end position, getting all the way down to the end of the field to make sure his guy gets in the end zone, but on the outside, Cam Williams picked up a good block that allowed Sherrard to split in between him and the defense to make a big run.
So Brandon Parsons' extra point attempt is up, and it's good. And that'll make it 33-20 Elizabethtown. So they have answered that terrible start to the second half, and they pushed the lead back out to 13 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Ton of football left, Jay. Our statistician, Garrett Inman, has been over here writing down a ton of scoring plays early in this third quarter. He's been busy. So E-Town set to kick off. Swung a little bit of the momentum back to this Panther sideline. But you can rest assured that Cal's not going to go away. Still waiting on a score from that Ashland Belfry game. We'll try to get you one here as soon as we can. You know, Sherrard got down here and had about a 10, 12-yard gain and ended up breaking 2 tackles right on the sideline that set him free, and he just outran everybody down the sideline. Refs holding up the start of the kickoff here while Coach Ross Brown and one of the officials are talking. I'm not sure what's going on down there on the Panther sideline. Got timeout on the field while Coach Brown's walking down towards the end zone. I'm not sure who he's looking for down there. I don't know if he had a complaint on some fans down there in the end zone or. Not the timeout that E-Town needs. They need to keep the game going while they still have the momentum. That's kind of a stoppage in play. It's unnecessary. But now we're ready to go, and they're set to kick. So Brandon Parsons to kick off for Elizabethtown. And he's approaching the ball, and he will squib kick it across the middle again. It gets a good hop, and number 23, Guerin for Cal, has got a lane down the right-hand side, and he's finally pushed out of bounds again at the 48, 49-yard line of Cal. So another great field position. E-Town's given up on special teams. So Cal take over 1st and 10 from the 48, their own 48-yard line. 4:21 left to go in the third quarter. Elizabethtown defense will take the field. Looking to get a stop here after a quick touchdown and try to keep the momentum leaning their way. Masters in the gun. Looks to throw real quick to the outside, and it's going to be out of bounds.
And there's that double move we talked about with the fake 5-yard stop and tried to rotate it, but Camden Williams read that well.
The more pressure that front 3 or sometimes 4 for Elizabethtown can get on that quarterback, the better off they are, because he's got to get rid of the ball. And I'll tell you, number 8, Masters for Cal, the quarterback's a pretty nifty little passer. He knows his offense well, and he knows what's going to be open, and the timing's really good. So he's going to walk up under center this time with the big fullback Babin behind him, and I expect us to get a dose of him real quick, and they do. Right up the middle, and he's got a big hole. And he makes a move and cuts it to the right, and is going to be brought down, but not after he gets a first down. Tackle on the play by Camden Williams and Alondre Murphy.
He's shaking up on the play.
He had a big hole right there. And like we said earlier, if you can't slow him down at the initial point of contact there on the line of scrimmage, he is a load for that second level and third level.
Tough kid.
Good tackle by Camden Williams to get him stopped, but not after a Cal first down. Babin will go off the field for a second.
With their big running back out, be interested to see if they hand the ball off to somebody else or if they just try to continue to work on their air attack.
Look for that quick out. Number 4, who's down here close to us, Messer is usually his target. He's in Masters under center, trying to get the E-Town defense to jump on the, and he turns and hands it to, I believe, the other Babin, and that's going to be a great tackle by number 21, Cam McNeil, to stop him, maybe a gain of 3.
And that was actually number 16, Gavin Koppenhaber for Cal.
He's a good-sized young man too.
I think we're see Babin check back into the game.
So like McNeil, he was out one play, just a small shake-up and back out there for his team, which I'd expect nothing less. Receiver to each side, tight end on the left, Babin in the gun, and we got flags on the field. Sideline warning on Cal. So the ref will pick that flag up, and it'll be 2nd and 7 from the Elizabethtown 36-yard line with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left to go after the sideline warning on Cal. Elizabethtown leads 33-20. Masters in the gun. The hard count trying to make E-Town jump again. Now they're changing the play. Babin the gun back. And he takes the snap, hands it to Babin right up the middle, and he gets to that second level again, and there he's off to the races. He looks like he's going to be a yard or 2 short, but it's close.
The moves he makes with the many people around him it's very impressive.
You can see why he leads the team in carries by a large margin. Much like that Durban kid from North Bullitt, who was just a load to tackle. He gave E-Town's defense fits. And so 3rd and 2 from the Elizabethtown 31. E-Town needs to make a stand right here, but I expect another dose of Babin. And he takes the ball and is met right at the line of scrimmage, and it's close. I believe he got it. Looks like about a 3-yard gain, but we'll see where they spot it.
Cal seems to be working in some hard counts more this half, trying to get E-Town's defensive line to not be able to read their snap count and get as much pressure as they've been getting.
Referee motion to start the clock. 1st and 10 for Cal from the Elizabethtown 29-yard line with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Masters in the gun this time. Babin the gun back, receiver to each side. And he takes a snap and he's looking to throw. Sets, makes the throw and hits number 9 across the middle there.
We got a flag.
That's going to be Riley Wentz. We haven't called his name yet tonight. There is a flag on the play.
You know, that's a cover 3 beater right there. You running out, free up that middle or free up that outside linebacker, has to take it out, and then you run that slant, and there's just not anybody there.
So a drive killer hold right there for Cal, but they still on the E-Town side of the field. That's going to bring up 1st and 20 from the 39-yard line of Elizabethtown. There's nothing more demoralizing than hitting a big play like that, and it comes back for a hold. Back in the I formation, Cal. Well, Masters under center, receiver to each side, and he's going to play action. And he's looking downfield, loads up, throws a big ball. Camden Williams on the coverage, and it's going to be out of bounds. Good coverage. Who's that number he was intended for? That's going to be number 23, Gage Guerin, I believe is who that pass was intended for. Camden Williams with good coverage there is going to bring up 2nd and 20 from the Elizabethtown 39-yard line. Decent looking ball, he just threw it out of bounds.
He's getting a lot of air under his balls, making them one-on-one balls between the DB and the receiver.
E-Town's lived on that too throughout the year. They've been able to run under a bunch of those and pick them off. Cal 2 to the right, and that strange out formation they go, and he's going to roll to his right, and he is going to be run out of bounds by number 84, Trey Prather. And that's going to be a loss of about 6 or 7.
Whenever Cal seems to motion to that stack set, that guy almost always runs a 5-yard out. And E-Town played that well.
That's going to bring up 3rd and a mile, 3rd and 27 from the Elizabethtown 46-yard line. So Cal's drive stalling, and Jay, we talked about it earlier. Where did the drive stall? And that was on that holding penalty, and it just pushes you behind the chains, and it's so tough to recover from.
Like we've been talking about, the secondary E-Town has. They need to keep E-Town back on their toes, running Babin right down the middle. Doesn't look like they can do that from 3rd and forever.
So Masters in the gun again, and he's back looking to pass. Already a flag down. They throw a little inside screen to Babin, who's got some room to run, and he's going to be short. But there is a flag on the play. I don't know what they're calling here, if that's a hold or.
I really like that play call when E-Town starts to bring some pressure, just dump it off and screen pass and pick up a lot of yards that way.
Legal procedure. I'm not sure. They have double penalties there?
No, it's false start on the offense, and they're going to back them
he
up.
Pointed the wrong way there. So false starts another 5 yards. Will bring up 3rd and 32 from the Cal 49-yard line. I can't imagine that Coach Cantwell's very happy right now. They're killing a lot of time and going the wrong way. So with the clock running, Elizabethtown leads 33-20. Cal has the ball on their own 49-yard line, 3rd and 32. So E-Town rushing 3 down linemen here. Masters throws the screen to the right side, and he's got room, a lot of room. He's going to take it down to about the 28-yard line. That was a good play call, too.
E-Town brought pressure again, and as we see screens.
He turned and threw the screen right where E-Town brought the pressure from. So Gage Guerin had some room to run once he caught that screen pass, and now we're looking at 4th and 9 from the Elizabethtown 28, and this is a huge play. 28 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Cal really needs to get the first down here.
I wouldn't be surprised to see another hard count from Cal here.
So Masters in the gun, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Babin the gun back, and we got timeout on the field. Timeout Elizabethtown. So they want to talk about this defensive formation a little bit, because this is a great big play for this game. Elizabethtown leads by 13. Cal knocking on the door. 4th and 9 from the Elizabethtown 28. E-Town can get a stop here right before the end of the 3rd quarter and kill some clock and maybe put one in. It'd be tough for Cal to recover from that, so they definitely need to get this first down at least. I feel safe that we may see a play we hadn't seen before. Coach Quentin Brown and Coach Ross Brown and the Panther coaching staff out there talking to their defense about how to set up and line up against this Cal offense and this very large play in this game. So E-Town led 26-7 coming out of halftime, and Cal put 2 quick touchdowns on the board. One a rushing touchdown and another a pick 6 on the first interception that Clay Games has thrown this year. And that made it 26-20. E-Town answered with a Cam Sherrard touchdown, and now we're 4th and 9, and Cal's in the shotgun. 2 receivers to their left, 1 to their right. Babin, the fullback, puts 23 in motion, so now we have 3 to the left, nobody to the right. E-Town's defense is adjusting, and Cal calls timeout. So both teams realize how big a play this is. They got to get it right and give themselves the best chance. So 2 timeouts spent and no play run, Jay, and in a game that's close, especially if you get late in the 4th quarter, you may remember the time both teams used a timeout, because those can be crucial, especially late in the game.
We're seeing a type of chess match right here between the coaches. Like you said, they do realize that this play is one of the bigger plays in the game.
2 exceptional coaching staffs. Hunter Cantwell, former University of Louisville quarterback, Ross Brown in his first year as the skipper of this Panther football team, but he's been around it a long time, and the son of the great Mark Brown, who's a Kentucky High School Hall of Fame coach. Both of these staffs know what they're doing. So Masters is in the gun now. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Babin the gun back, and he takes the snap, and he's going to throw it. Looks deep across the middle, and it's going to be intercepted by Cam Sherrard, and he's going to decide to run it out. And he's got room up the right sideline if he can get a block, and he's out past the 30, about the 35-yard line. So big play there. E-Town was able to answer. Instead of worrying about getting that first down, they tried to score the touchdown, and Cam Sherrard was able to pick that off in the end zone. And when you think he's going to take a knee, he's living on the edge a little bit there and brings it out, but he brings it all the way out to the 35-yard line. So E-Town will take over from their own 35-yard line with 2 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Game's under center. And he'll hand off to McNeil up the middle, who has no room to run, maybe got a yard, and that'll do it for the end of this 3rd quarter. So going into the 4th quarter, Elizabethtown up 33-20. They'll have the ball 2nd and 9 on their own 36-yard line. And everybody's holding up the 4 fingers to signify the 4th quarter. This is an HCEC-TV student production and division of the Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, Blue Ribbon Renovations, and Mark Harris Company, West Point Bank, and E-Town Exterminating. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cables Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 184. All HCEC-TV programs on the HCEC-TV YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel today to get your local community sports and events. Special thanks to our HCEC-TV crew, and we would also like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NFHS.com to subscribe today. So we've seen a heck of a game so far, 33-20. I'm Jeff Gregory with Jay Gregory and our statistician Garrett Inman, and we got 1 more quarter to go to see who is going to punch their ticket for a Class 3A state final shot in Lexington next Saturday at 11 o'clock at Kroger Field. Still waiting on a score from Ashland and Belfry. Both teams take the field again. So Elizabethtown's approaching the ball. Game's going to be in the gun. McNeil, the gun back. He's got Cam Sherrard in motion. McNeil takes the handoff, heads to the right side, and is going to be stuffed after about a 3-yard gain. So that's going to bring up 3rd down. And the intel that I'm getting is final from Class 3A semifinals, Ashland 10, Belfry 3, and the Tomcats are headed to the state final for the first time since 1990. So the winner of this game is going to meet Ashland at Kroger Field to see who can take home the hardware for Class 3A this year in Kentucky. So a lot of football to go here. 11 and a half minutes left in the game.
E-Town's in the bunch.
Games takes a shotgun snap, rolls to his left, dumps it off to McNeil in the left flat, and he's going to have enough for a first down.
That's a big first down for E-Town.
It's a real big first down. It's a nice little play. Games didn't force anything. Found McNeil there on the left side, dumped it to him, and he was able to get 7-8 yards for the first down.
Clay Games does a good job. If his first option's not there, he doesn't panic and he finds an open player in space, and we see the results right there.
3-year starter, there's no replacement for experience. He's played a lot of football, and especially these kids have played a lot of football together, so they have a good feel for where each other are, and they seem to capitalize on that experience. So Games under center now. Got a wing to each side, and he's going to hand it off to number 3, Cam Sherrard. It looked like it was supposed to be a double handoff, but Cal got so much pressure there, he didn't hand it off. And we got an E-Town player down after a loss of maybe 1 or 2.
And that's 22, Kyle Sherrard, who's down. He's rolling over.
So Kyle Sherrard took a pretty good hit there. His brother was smart enough not to hand it to him on that double handoff, unless that wasn't the play, but it looked like it was. And so he's walking it off. But not after an E-Town loss. So that's 2nd and 11 from the Elizabethtown 48-yard line. Elizabethtown will run number 6 Ryder Gregory in Kyle Sherrard's place. Games headed back to the huddle. Elizabethtown breaks the huddle and heads to the line of scrimmage. Games in the gun. McNeil the gun back, wings to each side. And he's going to take the shotgun snap, and he's looking to throw, and he's looking for Cam Sherrard, and he makes a tremendous –
incomplete.
Gosh. He almost made a tremendous catch, but he took quite a shot over there.
He extended, had the ball in his hands, and then that was number 3 for Cal. That's Cole Hodge.
He deserves to have his name called because he put a lick on Cam Sherrard and dislodged that ball to keep Elizabethtown from having a great big gain right there. So E-Town will go back to the drawing board behind the chains, 3rd and 11 from the 48, their own 48-yard line, with 10 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Elizabethtown up 33-20 here at Panther Field in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, fighting for a trip to the 3A state final in Lexington, where the winner of this game will meet the Ashland Tomcats, who have just defeated Belfry. Games takes the snap, rolls to his right, and he's going to be sacked. And it looks like he got the ball away, and it'll be an incomplete pass. So that's going to bring up 4th and 11. A lot of pursuit there on the backside. Games couldn't get away from it. And
we're seeing the punt team come out.
They were able to trip him up, and so E-Town will be forced to punt.
You know, that's a play E-Town does run a lot. That out corner smash route we see. Oh, there's a flag on the field.
And that's going to be a first down if it's against Cal. And it is, which is a very unfortunate penalty. So E-Town's offense will go back out on the field. So 4th and 11, Jay, and they're lining up to play defense and punt return, and somebody says something, it appears, and the referee flags them, and it's an automatic first down for Elizabethtown, unsportsmanlike conduct. That is just a killer.
Automatic first down and a big chunk of yards right there for the E-Town offense to work with. And they're going to start on –
it looks like the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 from the Cal 38. Clock running with 9:57 to go. E-Town approaches the line of scrimmage. Games under center. Puts Kai Sherrard in motion. And jet sweep to the left with Kai Sherrard, and he's going to gain 7 or 8 there. That was a good run. Some good blocking on the outside there by that Panther offensive line. That was, I can't tell you how big a penalty that is. So it's, I was wrong, 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5 from the Centurion 33-yard line. Clock still running. Games in the gun. 3 receivers to his right, and he gives the ball to McNeil on the draw, and he's not going to have anything, but we got another flag on the field. Not sure who that's against. Holding on E-Town. So that's going to back them up, but they'll get replay of the down, which So we're looking at what, 2nd and 15?
Yep.
2nd and 18, I'm sorry, from the 46-yard line of Cal. So E-Town's got some work to do here, but the clock is still running. We're at the 9-minute mark. 3 receivers to his right, Games in the shotgun. McNeil, the gun back, he takes it, throws a quick screen to Williams. Outside, he gets a big block from number 22, Kai Sherrard, and that's going to be good for, I don't know, 4 or 5 yards. And bring up about 3rd and 13 from the Cal 41-yard line, and that clock's still moving, which is exactly what E-Town wants it to do. Different looks E-Town gives you. A lot of times you'll see 84 Trey Prather in there at tight end, and he comes out and you see Alondre Murphy go in up top on the outside. So you got Murphy up top to the left, Cam Williams to the right, 3 receivers to the right. Games takes the snap, drops back, looking downfield. Now he's scrambling to his left, and he's throwing the ball to Murphy, and he's got him.
Wow.
And it's going to be good for a first down about the 21-yard line. Great throw, great catch. Just patience by Games again, and Murphy's a great big long target, and he was able to come down with that ball. Now we got a flag on the field again.
It's going to be a sideline warning.
Sideline warning because E-Town coaches look like they were out on the field there trying to call that play, which is fair enough. I think that's the same thing that Cal got flagged for earlier.
Murphy, his original route wasn't there, and then scramble drill happened. Games rolls back out to the left, and Murphy follows him like he's supposed to do, and Games put the ball on him, and Murphy went up and made a great play.
So that brings up 1st and 10 from the Cal 21-yard line with 7:50 and the clock's ticking. Games under center. He turns, hands the ball to McNeil up the middle, and he is going to get 3 or 4 before he's brought down by a host of Christian Academy of Louisville Centurions. And that's going to make it 2nd and 7 from the 18-yard line of Cal, 7:31 left on the clock. Elizabethtown leading 33-20 here in the state semifinal matchup at Elizabethtown Panther Field. If Elizabethtown punches one in here, Jay, it's going to be tough sledding for Cal because the clock is not their friend right now. Games under center for the Elizabethtown offense. He's got Williams out wide to the right, turns and pitches it to Cam Sherrard, who stops, cuts, reverses field, and he's going to be brought down rarely, like we talked about earlier, in the Panther backfield. And we got another flag on the field. Not sure what that one's for either. It's getting a little bit chippy out there now, and you know, young men, when they're playing football, especially in a game that is as important as this one, sometimes the words can fly. We got a face mask on Cal. So they're just shooting themselves in the foot right and left right now, and desperately need to get the ball back, and the clock's still ticking against them, and they just keep giving E-Town chances. So not sure where they penalized them though. They never moved the ball, did they? So 2nd and 7 from the 18-yard line, but I didn't see them adjust the ball for the penalty. Maybe they did. It was 2nd and 13. I think it's 2nd and 8 now. Games under center. Takes the snap, hands to McNeil, who finds some running room, and he's going to be close to a first down. He may be, and here we got flags again. I'm not sure what's going on out there. Another face mask by Cal. So another 5-yard penalty, which will be tacked on after the run, which will be a first down for Elizabethtown. And that'll bring up 1st and goal from about the 4-yard line. E-Town, and not to take anything away from the game that they've played, but they've caught a lot of breaks here tonight. And that makes a big difference in a Final Four state semifinal game. So 1st and goal, from the 6-yard line. E-Town's got 4 plays here to get 6 yards. McNeil gets the ball up the middle, gets hit quick, and he's going to get a yard or 2 maybe, and we got another flag. I'm not sure what the deal is here. It's getting out of hand. Personal foul, E-Town. No idea who that's on. But that's going to back us up 15 yards. But we've run 4 or 5 plays here in a row that there's been flags on the ground. And I thought last week was a bunch of flags. The E-Town players got to be smarter than that because they want that clock to keep running, if nothing else.
They want the clock to keep running, and they were on the 6-yard line.
So now they're looking at first and goal from the 18. You have to think Coach Cantwell and Coach Brown are both about to pull their hair out. Talking to some players on the sideline that they're not real happy with, so I'm guessing that there were some words exchanged that caused that penalty. But Panther offense back out on the field. Games has 3 to his right in the shotgun. Londre Murphy up top to the left. Looks like a passing situation, but they do hand the ball to McNeil out of this sometimes. And we've got the play stopped on the field again, and it looks like Coach Ross Brown took a timeout. So 33-20, Elizabethtown leads. 5 minutes, 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Elizabethtown does have the ball first down, but it's at the 18-yard line. So they got 18 yards to go to score. Cal's on their heels, but this game's still far from over. Cal still has 2 timeouts. E-Town's out of timeouts. Elizabethtown was leading 26-7 at the half. Cal came and scored a quick touchdown, then got a pick 6, which made it 26-20 after a failed 2-point conversion attempt. E-Town answered with a score down the left sideline of 51 yards by number 3 Cam Sherrard, which put Elizabethtown up 32-20. Brandon Parsons' extra point made it 33-20, and Elizabethtown got a stop, and now they're driving again. And every play we've had a penalty for the last 4, 5, 6 plays, it seems like. Stalling Elizabethtown's drive, but the clock's their friend right now, and they're trying to run as much of that as they can. So Games in the gun takes the snap, hands the ball off to McNeil up the middle, and he may have got 3 or 4 yards there, 2 yards. But I think to Coach Brown, and Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, what's most important right now is to keep those digits moving on that timer.
Yeah, I think we're just going to see a lot of runs up the middle, a lot of ball on the ground.
You know, Parsons is within field goal range right here, I believe. I don't know that that's their goal right now on this drive. You know, they're always wanting to score a touchdown, but they can get points that way, and that clock's still ticking. We're at 4:50 right now. Games in the gun, got a 3-receiver look to the right, takes the snap, hands it to McNeil, who goes around the right side and is going to lose about 3 or 4 yards, it looks like. At Cal defense, they're blitzing and stunting and everything they can to try to get back there in that E-Town backfield, and they were successful on that play. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 20 with the clock still running at 4 minutes and 29 seconds. Elizabethtown leads 33-20 here at Panther Field, trying to hang on to beat the Centurions from Christian Academy of Louisville for a spot in that state final 3A game next Saturday in Lexington, where the winner of this game will take on the Ashland Tomcats, who defeated Belfry tonight. Game's going back under center. Wing to each side. Williams up top. And the handoff to Kai Sherrard, number 22. He's going to have no room. And he's going to, oh, he went out of bounds. Not sure why he did that. But that's going to stop the clock with 3 minutes 55 seconds left, and we have a Cal player down, but he's since gotten up. That's going to bring up 4th down. So Coach Ross Brown here has some decisions to make. Clay Game's over on the sidelines with the head coach. They've got 4th and 26 from their own 26-yard line, when if you'll recall just a few minutes ago they were 1st and 6 from the 6, and a touchdown there would have sealed this game. But they had the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that backed them up 15 yards and way behind the chains. So we got one receiver, which is Williams, down here to this side. Games turns, fakes the pitch, and he's looking downfield to pass. And he's going to throw it away. And it's gotten chippy here. Panther crowd is not happy. They feel like there was some unsportsmanlike conduct there from Cal, but didn't get a penalty. So with 3:46 to go, E-Town turns it over on downs when they were 1st and 6 from the 6-yard line. So the Panther defense will go out on the field. Cal's got 2 timeouts left, down 13 points, and they need to put one on the board in a hurry. I would expect E-Town to be in a nickel package here of some sort with an extra defensive back and 3 down linemen to guard against that pass and give some extra help in the secondary, but they still have 4 down linemen, so 2 receivers to the left for Cal. Masters under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and he's dropping back in play action. And Dylan Miller, number 50, got held and then came back and was able to recover and still sack number 8, Masters, the quarterback for Cal. So that'll be a loss and a 2nd down and 13 for Cal from their own 23-yard line, and that clock's still rolling. Cal quickly lines up.
I think E-Town wants to keep 4 down linemen just like we saw to get pressure on there, and I think they're going to cover 4 where they have both corners dropping back as well as the safeties.
Jet sweep to the right, and E-Town stuffs it in the backfield. And that's either going to be a loss or they're going to get him at the line of scrimmage. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 13. Cal does take a timeout with 3:04 left here in this 4th quarter. And the Elizabethtown defense has answered the bell, and they've come out and they've worked hard, and they've still got a little bit of gas in the tank. You know, as we talked about earlier in 3A football, when your numbers aren't the same as, say, a Trinity or a North Hardin or somebody that has a lot of players to choose from, a lot of these kids go both ways, and you get this late into the 4th quarter a lot of times and they get tired and run down, but E-Town still has some pretty good energy, and this crowd seems to be behind them and trying to push them to Lexington. So 33-20 with 3:04 left in the 4th quarter in the ball game. Cal has the ball on their own 24-yard line, 3rd and 12, and they're coming out of their own timeout, which will leave them with 1.
Games is on the sideline trying to walk off a limp. I think he's okay, but he's definitely shaken up after that last play.
He got hit over here on the sideline. It looked like it may have been a little late, and that's what the Panther faithful were upset about, but it didn't get flagged. So Masters in the gun. He's got 3 receivers to his right, Babin beside him. He's going to drop back to pass, looking downfield, throws the quick out, and he is going to be tackled by Ryder Gregory. Probably good for a gain of 6 or 7, but that's going to bring up 4th down and about 3 from the 33-yard line. Clock still running, 2:48 left in this game. E-Town's defense gets set. Masters in the shotgun, got a man in motion. Takes it, rolls to his left, looking for the quick out, and it is incomplete. Big hit there by number 22, Kai Sherrard. That pass was intended for Gage Guerin. It was incomplete. E-Town will take over on downs with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left.
Another flag.
Was that after the play, or?
That was after the play. He just threw it.
So if it's after the, I don't know what they called here. Which way did he signal?
I didn't see. May have been a double penalty, offsetting. Nope. I think it was against E-Town.
It was, because they're walking it off, so that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, it appears, on E-Town. I don't know if that's a huge factor right now when they're just trying to run that clock out. Cal's got 1 timeout left with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left, down 13. So field position is not necessarily valuable for E-Town right now as much as getting that clock moving. E-Town's offense goes to the line of scrimmage. Games is going to be under center. Quick handoff to McNeil up the middle. It's going to be good for about a 3-yard gain. But more importantly, it puts that clock in motion. And Cal is going to use their last timeout. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So 33-20 here at Panther Stadium here at Elizabethtown High School. Elizabethtown leads Christian Academy of Louisville with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left on the clock. E-Town will have the ball 2nd and 22 from the Cal 45-yard line. So barring some kind of
Disaster.
Disaster's a fair word. E-Town, if they'll take care of the ball here, should be in really good shape. Looking to go to their first state championship game appearance since 2003, and they've had some close calls, and you were part of that, Jay, in 15, 16, and 17, beating this exact game by Lexington Catholic in 15, Louisville Central in 16, and then Boyle County in 17, and none of those teams are in 3A
No,
anymore.
I think they all moved up to 4A, which is, just how it happens sometimes. So hopefully 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, this E-Town team can keep the ball, keep the clock moving, and in this game go to Lexington next week.
So the Panthers knew coming in tonight this was going to be a tremendous test. Cal really playing well, especially towards the back half of the season, and they've showed why tonight. They're a good football team. They have a good little quarterback, and they have a outstanding running back, and their offensive line's done a really good job. And on defense, they did a good job defensively in a lot of spots, but they've just had a hard time matching E-Town's speed, in my opinion. And so many playmakers on this E-Town offense. So E-Town back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 22 from the Cal 45. Games under center. Sherrard on the jet sweep. Cam Sherrard's going to go to the right side. Flag on the play. And that was a late hit. I think we got a hold in a late hit if I had to guess. Sherrard's still down. Cal getting a little chippy there. Players aren't happy, obviously, with what's going on out here. I believe 45 for Cal just got ejected, and he's waving to the Panther sideline, so that's the second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on him. And he's ejected, so they don't have to worry about him anymore. So that'll bring up 2nd and 6 for Elizabethtown, I believe. It just depends what these penalties are. Holding on E-Town. And targeting helmet to helmet on the defense, number 45, I believe, who probably got that call. And so those are going to be offsetting penalties, so it will stay 2nd and 6 from the 45-yard line of Cal with 2 minutes, 22 seconds left and the clock moving. So E-Town's going to use as much of this clock as they can. Game's in the gun. He's got a receiver to both sides, one wing back, and a gun back. Puts Kai Sherrard in motion, jet sweep to the left. He's got the ball, and he goes down. And it's going to be a loss of about 4 yards. He just looked like he slipped or didn't have anywhere to go and wanted to go down to keep that clock moving, which was a smart play.
Number 3 and number 22 have taken a beating all night, but they've ran hard and played their hearts out, and they've just been big factors all year for the E-Town Panthers, and those are the Sherrard twins.
They have, and the Babin twins for Cal have also been an instrumental part of their team. So 2 sets of twins playing hard against each other, and it's dire straits now for Cal. Elizabethtown up by 13 with the ball and the clock at 1:20 and counting. Game's in the gun. Play clock's down to 3, 2, and he gets a snap off. McNeil takes it. It's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and maybe good for a couple 3 yards, which is going to bring up 4th down, and Cal can't stop the clock. And so 4th and 7 with 57 seconds left on the clock. There's about a 25-second differential from the play clock to the time clock. I would say E-Town will take a delay penalty here and then put their punt team in. And that appears to be what they're going to do. So barring something that would just be disastrous, it looks like E-Town is going to Lexington to play Ashland in the state finals, the first time for the Panthers since 2003. Both teams already shaking hands out there waiting for this final play to go. Delay a game on the offense. 21 seconds left. E-Town up 33-20. And they will set up to take a knee or punt.
See, I don't even think it matters. Clay Games might just take a knee right here, and then Cal would have one play or a couple plays to do whatever they want to do.
Touchdowns, it won't work. Or it shouldn't work. There's some sportsmanship shown by both teams here. The Panther faithful on their feet. Hats off to Cal. They played a hard-fought, well-coached game. Just came a little bit on the short end there. 26-7 there in the last half is a lot to overcome. Games throws the ball deep and is going to be picked off at about the 12-yard line for Cal, which is about the same as a punt. And that'll leave the clock at 14 seconds. And the Panthers are feeling it now, Jay.
Yep.
Everyone on their feet. Players celebrating on the field. We'll be quiet and let people hear through the microphone. Cal set up in the shotgun. He takes a snap and rolls to his right, looking downfield and launches one. Looking up, and it's going to be intercepted by Alondre Murphy at about the 42, 43-yard line. 6 seconds left in the game. Oh, they're saying he was out of bounds, it looks like. So they're going to take it back to the line of scrimmage. Panthers will move to 12-0 on the season, and they're headed to Kroger Field in Lexington next Saturday to take on the Ashland Tomcats, which are two high-octane offenses that are going to be playing against each other.
Battle of the Undefeateds next week.
As it should be. Two great games in 3A football in the state semifinal. E-Town just back in a nickel-dime package. Cal with their last shot here with 6 seconds left. Master takes the ball, throws a quick out, and it's going to be picked off. Cam Williams is going to take it to the house. And touchdown Elizabethtown, but it doesn't make any difference as time ran off the clock. Final score 39-20 here at Elizabethtown Panther Stadium. And Jay, what are your thoughts from this game?
My thoughts from this game, I think E-Town came out the first half and did everything they wanted to do. And then I think Cal, they had a tough first half. They turned the ball over a couple times, but they came back the second half and they made this game closer than it could have been. They fought hard the whole way, but E-Town just managed to keep doing what E-Town does, and that's why they're going to Lexington next week.
So the final score from Elizabethtown High School Panther Field, the Panthers win 39-20 in the state semifinal game and will get their first bid at a state championship since 2003 and their first chance to win a state championship since 1969. So they're excited here at Panther Field. We appreciate everybody listening in and watching the game. This has been an HCEC-TV student production, a division of the Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, Blue Ribbon Renovations, the Mark Harris Company, West Point Bank, and E-Town Exterminating. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 184. All HCEC-TV programs on the HCEC-TV YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel today to get your local community sports and events. Special thanks to our HCEC-TV crew. We would also like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NFHS.com to subscribe today. So from Jeff Gregory and Jay Gregory and Garrett Inman at Panther Field, we thank you for listening and good luck to Elizabethtown as they continue on next Saturday at 11 o'clock to take on the Ashland Tomcats in the KHSAA 3A state championship game. So thanks for having us, and we look forward to seeing you again.
This has been a Hardin County Educational Community Television production. Live local sports are on Brandenburg Channel 1, and all rebroadcasts are on Brandenburg and Comcast Channel 2, Spectrum Communications Channel 184, and on our YouTube site. Also check out our live sporting events on nfhs.com or visit us at hardin.k12.ky.us. Hardin County Educational Community Television, located in Hardin County, Kentucky, a division of Hardin County Schools, airing on Brandenburg, Comcast, Spectrum, and also airing online.
providing live coverage of local high school sports.
Covering community and school events, while teaching students along the way.
HCEC-TV, the area's leading educational and government access channel, training the next generation of media arts students.
Control your home even when you're not there with Brandenburg Telecom's home automation service. Turn lights on and off, lock and unlock doors, and change settings on your thermostat using your smartphone or tablet. Stop worrying whether or not you remembered to close the garage door, and save money by programming your thermostat to reduce energy used when you're not home. Call Brandenburg Telecom for a free quote and enjoy the convenience of having home automation, phone, TV, and internet service, all from one local company.
All right, son, you ready to open your first savings account?
Yes, I am.
West Point Bank has been growing with our customers for over 30 years. We know what it takes to support them in every stage of their life. You need a bank that you know and trust to help you reach your goals and make your dreams come true. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple.
Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal helps keep America clean.
Got a car that needs to be scrapped? Older friction not working? We pay top dollar. Call Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling today. Family owned and operated for over 40 years.
Premier Metal Recycling Company, we even handled the unloading. Waddell's Auto and Scrap, now with 2 locations.
Do your part. Keep America clean.
At Physical Therapy Associates, our approach to care is patient first. We know how important it is for our patients to return to work or play or just day-to-day life, which is why our highly trained and experienced staff treats everyone that walks through our doors as a friend. With 6 locations across Hardin, LaRue, Nelson, and Meade counties, we're committed to being there for you when you need us. Give us a call at 270-234-1569 or visit us at physicaltherapyky.com. Physical Therapy Associates, friends helping friends.
000 Blue Ribbon Renovations is a new locally owned Mark Harris company offering 0 interest and no payments for 12 months on windows, doors, fences, roofs, decks, siding, and much, much more. To explore your options or schedule your appointment, please call Michelle at 270-763-3186.
E-Town Exterminating, a locally owned, family-run pest control company, has been serving Hardin County and the surrounding area since 1976. E-Town Exterminating provides pest control for residential and commercial properties. E-Town Exterminating on Ring Road in Elizabethtown. Phone 737-6900.
E-Town Exterminating, what the buzz is all about.
For additional information on HCEC-TV programming, call 270-769-8855 or email Gina Ryan at hardin.kyschools.us. On behalf of HCEC-TV, we would like to thank all of our live coverage sponsors.